Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Riyadh Masters. Hope y'all enjoyed that little bit of a break and maybe got to tune into some of these other streams as there's been some very hype games happening over there. But we are back here with another 6 series. It is Team Aster taking on BB Team Fogged. How you doing, man?
Good. I was a little bit late. I'm sorry. I was literally watching the stream upstairs outside, and then I looked and I was like, oh my god, I missed my timer. Because there's some crazy crap going on in the mainstream if you were looking. Like, these...
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to do a slight spoiler, but these black holes have been absolutely absurd. So if you're not watching that one, maybe tune in for a little bit and then come back here, because it's been a treat to watch. So sorry for being a moment late.
No. I will say, though, the 9 Pandas Gaming Gladiators series has now completely shook Group A.
Yes.
Because there are 3 teams at 6-6 and 3 teams at 5-7. So this is going to be incredibly close. So very excited to see how that tunes out. We can talk about all that later.
Speed.
We just are zooming through the draft. They've already done a ban as well. Aster opens Snapfire Medusa. We get the Coddle Storm here for BB. Talk to me, man.
No hesitation. I mean, we're having Coddle go. I feel like it's going up and up and up. I think this is similar to what happened in Berlin. It's now got like 30-something picks, 60+, 65% win rate, something like that. So I think we're going to see this. This is the new Pugna. So we've got the Pugna Storm combo coming into play. I think people are also looking at Storm as a monster of his own, especially if he's got this man outlet, because this hero scales so damn hard into later games, as we saw from Kiyotaka the other day. So excited to see this. Aster, they're sticking with their guns.
Team Aster's turn to ban.
Yeah, this is going to be... Honestly, I'm totally... I'm trying to think of, like, if it's okay to open Snapfire Medusa, but it seems like right now there's not really a good way to address the Medusa. Like, you can protect ban it here. We're going to see the Anti-Mage, the Morphling, probably Faceless Void as the third. You could also opt to go for... like a Phantom Lancer, which we haven't seen all that much. Oh, Darkseer, of course. Yeah.
I think Darkseer likely, because the other one
Darkseer's the big one.
I think the big 3 for me, it's like AM Morph Pango, but there's a Storm, so Pango's off the table unless they want to run some offlane Pango, which is not really the greatest. Only like 1 or 2 people like to play it, so I think, yeah, Darkseer is probably the one that they're looking at the ban.
You can't pick the Darkseer here, right? Like, you don't have first pick in phase 2, so you can't deny pick it.
No.
So, Darkseer, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
I mean, look at that ban,
so
too.
Good.
Like, a Lion ban comes out also. Sure, yeah, you're playing versus Kaka, so you always want to ban it, but you're playing a Storm, and, you know, there is the potential if you wanted to get a Darkseer, too, so like that Lion ban is like triple different functions of why they are looking at it.
Incredible value.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, if it's not a Darkseer ban, I'll be a little bit surprised. Do you think BB Team just grab it immediately? Like, run the Darkseer Coddle lane? We've seen OG actually have a lot of success with it. You know, it doesn't really, like, crush the lane. You could go back for an Oracle.
That's the one
on
thing.
Aster.
That is the one problem, right? There still is potential for that, so maybe they don't even go down that route.
Man, there are some really interesting draft dynamics that have been starting to develop over this last day.
The other crazy thing is, too, is, like, BB doesn't really, like, that's not really a pure hero, to be quite honest with you. He's more about the Dooms, the Legions, you know, like, these kind of heroes. Even some, like, Pudge, I think I saw him play earlier today, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. So, yeah, he plays, like, a different kind of style from his offlane. So maybe he doesn't even want that. And maybe it's going to make Aster consider this, like, do we ban it or do we just look at something? Yeah, they're opting against it, because they're like, I don't think the Pure plays it. That's more Pure's route. The Tidehunter. Legion,
the Tide,
Doom.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see. Like, maybe BB will go outside of the wheelhouse here to grab it, but... I would like the response of an Oracle. I think it would be pretty sick. It ruins the game of the Darkseer, at least in the lane stage. It protects the Medusa heavily as the game goes on. Quick question. Does she doesn't lose mana in Oracle's ult, does she? Or because it blocks all damage, right?
I think it's...
But you can get mana burned, though,
I'm pretty sure... I think you still do lose mana. Oh, God, you actually put me on the spot for that one.
I mean, it's like
I've never seen
Medusa has made some weird mechanics with her new ult, so I don't know, or with her new passive.
Pretty sure that it goes to the damage. The burn will go through. The HP won't move, but the mana will move. So
yeah, so Oracle Dusa not a great combo then.
Someone will. I mean, I might sound stupid. I might be dumb. I literally haven't tested it. I've never even thought about an Oracle Dusa on the same team.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where
it's the shield is before any type of mitigation.
Damage reduction or anything.
Exactly, so I'd imagine. Someone will say in a second, but either way. They're taking a bunch of time here, BB.
How could you, Fog? I can't believe you didn't know this super niche interaction with a new mechanic.
I get really mad at myself when I don't know that stuff. I actually have no idea.
No, I'm just messing with you.
I test so much stuff, and then Owen half the time puts me on the spot.
I know. I see you in practice lobbies testing stuff all the time, too, so I know you do.
This is so much time spent. I mean, there's some crazy mind game stuff going on here. Okay, Enigma.
I totally forgot the Enigma was actually just still in the pool. Oh my goodness. Okay.
And there's
here's Legion.
All right, this
you were
is
right,
so
man.
This hero, this is a pure specialty. I mean, this is so good with Coddle as well too. Actually, really, really nice, old school kind of combo.
Yeah. Dude, new overwhelming odds is nuts.
Yeah, really, really nice.
10 seconds remaining.
I think this hero, we're gonna start to see it way more. I mean, we're already starting to see that trend here at this tournament. I think it's got quite a lot of picks, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 plus. Yeah, 23, 65% win rate, flexed all over the place too.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I think I saw a clip yesterday of XXS playing the Legion Commander and 3v1. Well, dies at the end of it, but kills two heroes. There's a God Strength Sven hitting him and killing himself on Blade Mail. So.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so sick. I saw that clip. I just like those types of plays are just so funny. You're just like, yeah, okay, we can get him. We have so much damage. He just presses Blade Mail, and you're like, maybe we need to wait. Maybe we should wait.
Yeah. Let's see. What do they pick?
You remember Whispers? Freaking solo kills a troll with like Blade Mail, no boots, nothing, and just wins the game almost because of it. Yeah, cool item.
You want to get
a lot of teams crushing their reserve time now.
Yeah, I'm like
That's
thinking
nuts.
they're probably thinking like, do we want to save? Do we want disable? They probably want to get some type of catch and stuff like that for Storm. We've seen quite a bit of the puck in a response to be like that extra catch first to Storm. Storm itemizes for the Orchid and stuff like that, but perhaps something they go down.
The Darkseid themselves.
Okay.
I'm okay with this. It actually hurts some of the Medusa counters because Terrorblade's a decent one.
Yep. And its hero just seems to be, even in games where it's not countering anything in particular, it seems so damn strong just for the team fights over and over again. Feels like it's back to the olden times of the Darkseer where it's just like king of team fight, right? You show up with your auras, you get a good vacuum wall, you're gonna win the fights, even if you're not against like a Giga Morphling Dusa carry.
Yeah. The thing is now Aster, this lineup, it seems like we're seeing the Tricore right out of the gate. Snapfire has been such a dominant mid hero. I'm fairly confident in her ability to just beat a Storm Spirit in mid. Like, that is a Snapfire favored lane.
Sumail's been destroying everyone on this hero, too, from what I've seen, so... Oh, this is nice. It's a little bit iffy into the Legion, but this hero owns Coddle. Yep. I actually really like this Darkseer Batrider duo. I think it's looking like one of the stronger ones that's not a dual melee. I think this hero actually takes advantage of pretty much every single aspect of Darkseer. The Surge, Ion Shell, Vacuum, everything feels so good with the bat in lane. And it's BKB Piercing, so it's always going to have that extra little element inside the later stages. They'll go for their Void. Okay, so that does mean it is versus a Darkseer Batrider lane, which could be a little bit more difficult, at least in the laning aspect.
You ban the Oracle, right? Like, we know this. We just learned about this. You ban the Oracle here. I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Also, Oracle Legion we've seen be a pretty cool combo at times.
It's Oracle versus Darkseer and the Bat, right? So
yeah.
Probably something to look at.
If you don't ban the Oracle here, I'm going to be so confused. They get rid of ET.
Okay, so looking more about mid-game rather than about lane, I guess, right now.
Team Aster's turn to ban.
And the Pugna. So that means what?
I mean, it's safe for the Chrono, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's also... Wait. Actually, wait a minute. I guess because it is with the Dusa. Also. The man...
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mana, even though the mana has been nerfed and stuff like that, the save versus Legion and Void is also pretty good.
5 seconds remaining.
That's interesting, man.
Dude, if it's not an Oracle ban, I'm going to be shocked. Okay,
yeah.
thank God. It's like there's no way they're looking past this.
Not if you have both Bat and...
Yeah. It just crushes your off lane.
They could use some burst damage if they want to run like this Coddle in like a... I mean, as like a 5-ish roll, they could still look for some type of nuker. Like some, I don't know, Sky.
Like Sky?
Sky's not terrible with the Legion. It's not fantastic versus the Dusa, but Does give you a lot of aggression early.
Team Aster's turn to
Get rid of
pick.
the Rubik. I mean, good spells to steal this game. It's always fun into the Storm Spirit. Aster, I mean, you need some catch here for the Storm, I think, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't have the Lion. That's been banned.
Is Cock about to bust like a Shadow Shaman out or something? Like, knowing him, he loves these like.
Dude,
He loves these double disable heroes, but.
that would be funny. I haven't seen a Shadow Shaman in a while, but I think it's unpicked and unbanned, but...
It's Kaka, so I'm just thinking he's going to do something.
CM, maybe?
They'll be more normal. That's a Snap Shadow Demon pick. Okay.
It makes sense.
I thought Aster might actually go for the SD earlier, but then they got the bat, so I thought it was against it, but... Okay. I mean, it's SD versus Dusa, so that's always going to be great. The Demonic Purge is very useful in this game also versus Darkseer and Spirit Breaker. They don't have great kill combo with the Legion overall, though.
No, not at all. Pure is going to be like relatively alone in terms of finding these kind of dual victories outside of GPK, like eventually showing up. But I worry, man. Kaka's Batrider can do some serious work in the early game. We have seen Batrider, Shadow Demon, the matchups from the support side. And I think Shadow Demon had like 9 deaths to Batrider alone in one of these games. Like he's just absolutely crushing this hero. So yes, Shadow Demon, great for the game. Disruption, amazing against Medusa. Demonic Purge, amazing against Darkseer, Spirit Breaker. But
Lanes,
we'll see how the Batrider does.
Lanes don't look the easiest for the side of BB.
No.
And we did see yesterday when they put themselves into a laning concern, Secret just completely destroyed them. All 3 lanes, if I'm not mistaken, in both of the games. Maybe one of the lanes actually ended up going their way, but overall, the Secret just running over the lanes. And I feel like Aster, they set themselves in a position with some pretty damn strong lanes. They've got the Snap versus the Storm. They've got the Dusa with the backup of a tanky front line, and they have this great kill combo versus a Void that doesn't have a Dispel. So we'll have to see how that bottom lane, or how this, the Faceless Void lane in particular goes, but definitely liking what Aster's got, at least in the laning aspect, and their mid-game fights are pretty damn strong too, so let's see if the Storm and the Coddle can work its magic, but liking Aster's a bit more.
I agree. I'm with you on this one. I like the Aster draft a lot. I think it's pretty dang straightforward. We'll see what they can do. Coddle, Storm, always an incredible combo. We've seen Coddle just pop off so far this tournament. It is now, like you said, moving up in priority. It is first picked. So it'll be interesting.
Aster have to play pretty, I would say pretty pressure heavy, though. That's the one thing I will say about their draft. Like the scaling, this Void, he'll be able to get to that type of crazy type of scaling if he does get there in the later games. So I think for Aster, probably on a bit of a timer to put the pressure on, but fairly balanced draft. And I'm looking forward to see how these mid-game plays and how these lanes end up going. Let's see if Sumail ends up doing his Sumail thing on the Snapfire that we've seen him do to almost everybody.
Just dumpstering everyone in the lane.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. For everyone who's just tuning in, you're all trickling in now that we are just past the draft. It is Aster versus BB team here in the first game of our last series. That's an interesting way to say that. Could have probably said that differently, but it's fine. I'm sure it makes sense.
Whoop. Save. Yeah. He gets the ward down just on the cusp of breaking it. Doesn't get broken, so shouldn't get spotted. Let's see if timings work. Let's see if these timing lineups can actually be sure to pressure. BB, they did struggle yesterday when they were the ones on the back foot, so.
I mean, my eyes are on Kaka's Batrider. Like, to be honest, I feel like the Batrider might be one of the strongest heroes of the tournament right now. I think people are not respecting the power this has from the 4, so.
I'm actually on the same with you, but I'm on the flip. I'm actually watching save. I think the Coddle for me is the one that's, it's a bit of
that's true,
These 2 4s like, seem to be the absolute kings. This is the rise of what they're able to do. And Coddle is one of the best heroes at stalling games out, being able to recall, cut waves, etc., and stuff like that too eventually. So, yeah, if BB can do that, we'll see.
Kaka just like threw his flame break across the river, like revealing that they have a ward.
Oh,
but
weird.
It's all right. They will grab the rune and the little trade there. It's gonna be 2-2 for each of the teams. We're getting ready to head to the lanes. All right. This man, dude, I don't even know which lane I want to watch. They're all gonna be really good.
I was literally about to say the same thing. I'm like, man, I wanted to stare at mid, but I also want to see what happens with this top lane because I feel like this Darkseer Batrider can take advantage a lot versus this Void. But then bottom also, like, it's a pretty aggressive lane from both, like pretty aggressive lane from BB versus Monet. So
And I'm just stoked that we get to finally watch a Aster game.
Same.
Like, this is going to be cool.
No,
GPK taking some heavy harass mid to start it off. Does manage to clear his creep wave, not let Sumail get any denies, so really sick play from him.
Very important for these first few waves. There's a Storm Spirit versus Snap. If you get out leveled right away, he's able to just stand on your hill and bully you.
Yeah, especially when you get to, you know, Crown and a couple more stat items, and suddenly you just have the 20 damage advantage that we've been seeing Snapfires have.
It's easy for you to set up even kill threat all the time, so yeah, great first two waves there from GPK. Lane positioning now, though. I mean, he's trying to body block the best he can so that it's not on the low ground, but Sumail's got high ground advantage now versus him.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I'm going to be pretty focused around the mid lane.
Yeah, I think the first two waves are really important, so
Yep.
I'm with you on that one. Oh, the high ground miss. Oh, no.
He gets it all.
No. Dude, GPK, that is rough. He's got a Scatter Blast in 2. He's not going to use it, though. I mean, that is...
He's still doing great,
Yeah.
but he's getting heavily harassed.
Oh, gets a range 9. That's pretty good. I mean, he's got 9 CS, or 10 CS. It's good. It's good for sure.
Yeah, no, he's holding his own. I'm wondering if he might spend extra. I think he might have to bring some extra regen, though, so perhaps that'll be the difference, where Sumail doesn't really have to bring extra regen. GPK might have to bring tangos.
Yeah. You always have to be so careful of just a stray cookie catching you. All right, we can pull our attention away for the moment. Take a look at some of these other lanes here. We've again got this top lane, Batrider Darks here. It's a scary lane, like you said. It's one of the few non-melee heroes that, you know, does actually kind of play in melee range, and it works well.
Yeah, and doesn't feel the easiest for Void to play around. Yeah, you have time dilation, which can work great in some aspects versus this lane, but you don't have an aggressive 5 position. You have a very defensive 5 position. So it does feel like Nightfall is going to be quite slowed down. But on the flip side, looking at Pure, playing versus the Medusa, he's got, what, 13, 14 damage advantage or something like that over her, so far, so
7
good.
denies. That was great.
Infinite.
Part of me wonders, like, if it's the Spirit Breaker not really being able to offer a whole lot at the moment. He will grab the Lotus, so that's actually pretty nice.
To get it, yeah. That's nice. Definitely, right? Like, he just, every time he walks up, he gets bonked away. He can't actually trade with Pure. He's not like a Clockwork or something like that, where you can just effectively trade with just magic damage. They keep getting a lot of range denies. I keep seeing, like, I just saw Coddle even get one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just every time this overwhelming odds is up, it's just overwhelming odds spam and then an immediate chakra again. It's been really difficult. And here, obviously, I like his bracer pickup, casual bracer with the moment of courage. He's going to go for a second bracer as well. So a lot, dude, another range tonight. But a lot of sustain coming out from the Legion.
He takes
that
a clap.
actually is a lot of damage.
Another one?
Okay.
Tip him. That 2 bash.
You have to tip him.
That was
the clap double bash, dude. Unreal.
What the? All right, well. And they have the Spirit Breaker too to set up for mid. That's the other scary thing too for GPK. Does have to be aware, and they're actually double checking runes here, and they're
gonna double rune.
They might actually just go for the dive onto GPK.
The charge is coming in. He forts the wave. That creep is gonna take a lot of damage to push back. He's got a Scatter Blast in 1. Nice vortex, but it's gonna connect. They get the kill, save. Making his rotation in, trying to bring down Kaka. Maybe with the tower. No, he gets out. The TP out from the Spirit Breaker. Oh, no.
What a move. Healing Lotus gets popped. Kaka, he's just going to suicide to neutral. He doesn't want to steal the creep wave from Sumail, from his king. A good aggressive play. A good glyph there from Sumail to keep the creep alive a little bit longer so they can go for that dive play.
Yeah, that was nice. And Sumail, 30 and 10 in the mid lane to 19 and 1 now all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the kill to boot.
And
he's got plenty of sustain.
The crowns are coming out. Now that damage advantage, he's going to have like 90 base damage or something to the 60 of the Storm, and he's soon to hit 6 also.
I think Batrider's just going to TP mid. I'm pretty sure he's just clearing the wave. Yeah, he's going to bottle refill here. No reason not to. This is, so much focus being poured into Sumail, especially since he's almost 6.
It's been like...
DPK's not even 5 yet.
Yeah, and it's been like this since the Sumail joined them. They're trying to take advantage of these movements, trying to punish up top on tech success.
He's not that easy to grab, though. 3 Shadow Poison stacks. Nightfall doesn't actually have Time Walk for a few seconds, but with Kaka here now, your aggression's pretty much over.
Sumail, he's like constantly pinging mid. He's like, charge this man. We have a free kill if I get cookie set up.
Look at the ward vision here. Double wards around mid.
Yeah.
He's gonna cancel this.
This has been Aster's approach. Like, it's makes Sumail have the best game possible, and he's already playing the snap, so he's already gonna have a good lane, and they're making sure that GPK actually gets zoned completely off with that charge. Catapult is still alive in mid.
Holy heck, it is. Wow. Okay. It's gonna take a lot of damage from the other catapult here, but Sumail not opting to push the wave. Wants to just play for the 6-minute runers. They've again brought both supports to the mid lane. He will get the D ward here from save. That was quite nice.
This is the standard Aster. Just double check the runes, make sure Sumail owns. Kaka now scouting out. He knows GPK is jungling over here. He's actually pretty much out of mana, but Kaka doesn't find him.
I mean, you're double checking runes at 4 and 6, and your side lane is still second and third on net worth.
Yeah, Deuce has gotten pretty much everything now after that point, and Darkseer, it's a Vanguard Darkseer versus a Void SD. They cannot pressure. These two heroes just don't have damage or control. SD's very defensive.
Okay, we've talked about this a couple times. There are a lot of stacks in the jungle here that Save is making, and Sumail has Mortimer Kisses.
This is
true.
true.
So if he gets bored and doesn't have a lane opponent, he can just clear the wave and go Mortimer Kiss the hard camp that's stacked for him.
Look at Aster. They're set up for double wisdoms. Tokyo,
Yes, they are.
Sumail's coming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yes, the cookie does get the kill, and the other side, Save does get the pushback, so he grabs it. So they end up 1-1-ing on those runes, but Sumail, nice rotation, gets himself a freebie.
Kaka takes the rune away, though. He's like, sorry, Sumail, I know you want to bottle that one. Man.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine, because Batrider with early levels is really scary.
Yeah. I mean, so far, Aster, they set themselves up for success in laning phase. BB, they drafted themselves lanes. One lane that can look really good, the Legion in particular, but the other two, kind of expected that these were going to struggle a bit. I'm actually impressed that Nightfall's held his own so nicely up here.
Yeah. He's done great. Needs to be careful, though, as there is a rotation looming. Never mind. We'll go back bottom here on the Spirit Breaker. Charge instantly canceled.
Maybe a little lucky there from Save, but does get it perfectly. Kaka getting spotted here. GPK's in the area.
He gets the Firefly off. XXS is close by. Sends a nice wall, actually, right on top of him. GPK needs to be a little bit careful.
Nightfall walks over.
You will back away.
What can he commit? Yeah, this... Aster, this is really, really nice moves around the map. Just continuing to pressure so much of the side of BB. Sumail's nearly gotten the whole mid tower, and he actually finds GPK.
He has a 2-level advantage. Oh, he guesses wrong. He tried. Oh, what can he do? He'll take the medium camp instead. First set of Mortimer Kisses, not great. That being said, they are still scouting out that stack in the jungle.
Sumail, give him a tip.
Yeah, that's a nice dodge by GPK.
Yeah, respect given. Sumail predicted wrong. But either way, Sumail, even though the kisses hit, he almost has Atos.
Kaka's coming for the stack.
Oh.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting.
They got it.
They have to.
I mean, but this is just a Batrider stealing it, so it's like...
He might just get it anyway. He does.
He got like one or two. I think GPK got 1 or 2 as well. But look at this chase. This doesn't feel great. Hero will get a duel, but...
There's a 10-stick charge. Does give him a little bit of HP, but yeah, the duel will go the way of Pure. He gets something, but...
But look at Sumail. Off of that, he's like, you're going to chase? I'm going to hit mid, and his Atos is already done. So he's got this control, and it's a really, really good Atos game. Of course, it's the standard on Snap, but versus Void and Storm, it's phenomenal. They're killing this early game.
Yeah, we're doing really good. 3K advantage, back down to 2. It's kind of back and forth a little bit. It's mostly GPK's game that's really struggling, right? Like, the Storm Spirit...
Yeah.
Getting shut down in the mid lane. He's over 2 levels behind the Snapfire.
2K net worth difference, too. Nightfall, he's going to go down that Midas route of recovery, but let's see if that recovery actually works. I saw BB when they played on back foot yesterday. They never got back into the game, so let's see if that changes.
They catch him with a nice ward. Disruption is there. The charge through. It's going to be Nightfall with a Chrono if he wants to drop it. They're going to bring Sumail low, but Hawkon's nearby. Does have the flame break. Sumail trying to survive this one. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. They finally get the kill. That's massive. GPK stuck up on the high ground. Does get saved by the Coddle's Chakra Magic as Nightfall's continuing to just chase the Spirit Breaker around. Finally gets the Bash aligned to go for the Chrono. And he will clean up 2 big kills there for BB Team, and absolutely necessary.
They brought 4 heroes, absolutely worth. I mean, Nightfall just shows up and just starts punching, and it works. The time dilation plus the stacks onto Sumail. He's able to just get that extra right clicks. He's got Midas finished up now, getting involved with Treads, Gloves of Haste. Pretty sweet.
This Midas is going to do wonders for him.
Yeah. BB's looking to go for scale. This Deuce has been left alone, though. Monet, level 8. Imagine they're going to get some stacks set up for her as well. All right, 3-3. Not as crazy action-packed as we had from earlier, where I think we had like 20-something kills by now, but
yeah, that was
responding accordingly.
That was pretty wild. And it's just the way OG's been playing. It's just been nuts.
And BB, they're just gonna look to slow the pace of the game down, right? Look back up, get some stacks going, keep replenishing everybody's mana, look to farm those up with your Midas and to catch GPK back up. We almost brought it back to that 0. 2K leader at the moment for Aster.
Dude, the supports on BB team are actually super high level. Save is gonna just go for the vessel, like we've been seeing, almost level 7.
Stacks, baby.
Yep.
Stack Dota. Maybe we'll see some changes happen to this. Because I think this is like the most important thing for supports to do from now on, but
you have two great stacking heroes like this, like Shadow Demon and Coddle. Oof.
Yeah, and then they just sit behind GPK, keep him pumped up so I can keep that farming to try to catch back up. And he still is struggling.
Head on Sumail now. Grab the Scatter Blast damage talent. Pretty decent chunk of damage. They have the Atos plus the lasso to play around, but GPK plenty safe there with Toronto, Tokyo nearby.
And they're getting quite a lot more stacks already though from DPT. I mean, it's like a triple hard camp, a triple ancient or double ancients. Kaka's stacking a little bit, but he supports now at this point for BB. Gotta start to get accelerated even more so when they do back up and farm him.
Midas? Yeah, okay. He's on his way to his Maelstrom. He's already got the
he's got the Javelin. He's big. Honestly, he's only 500 behind, or 600 behind or so to do so. That's honestly very, very good with the lane that he was up against. He didn't end up dying at all. Very farm-heavy game. BBT looking to make the first big aggressive move after these last 10 minutes. Gonna catch someone. Success playing smart and just iron shelling the wave.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And they'll scout GPK. Alright. And Kaka's just gonna continue stack.
I mean, if he gets caught here, it's quite big. And GPK's just gonna take the stack. He's like, you did it to me earlier. This one's mine.
He doesn't get the big creeps.
The big ones, though, yeah. And they get the deny on the ward as well. So Kaka, kind of safe here. Yep, we'll get surged away.
I mean, a necessary contest, but ends up not actually paying off by any means there. Kaka just walks in, gets the D ward.
Stupendous.
And more space for Monet as he continues to farm up on the Medusa. Now, we have seen this Medusa versus Faceless Void matchup quite a bit, as it was kind of turning into one of the best late game counters to the Medusa, outside of, like, say, the Darks here, of course. But do you think that the pace Nightfall, he can definitely contest, like, into the late game at this point?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can keep slowing the pace of the game down. I think it's Aster's time to go, though, right? Aster, they're going to look to make these more aggressive moves to shut down BB.
Nice little grab here onto the Shadow Demon mid. Just hits a shotgun to the face.
And I feel like for them, it's much easier on Aster to make these aggressive moves, too. Like, Pure, when Pure has Blink Dagger, then they can look to make more aggressive moves on BB. But pre-Blink Dagger, Aster's got way more forms of initiation with the Spirit Breaker naturally going for it. Kaka, he almost has a Blink, too. So Aster, I feel like they're going to constantly look to kick the tempo up a little bit more, while BB's just going to look to play a little bit more of a slowdown game. Because they want to take it to late game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they can get there without too much of a deficit, like their lineup, it scales very hard. Their Tricore is very threatening, and they have an SD, of course, versus that Medusa always, so
something a little bit interesting here. Sumail is swapping up the build a little bit. Ooh, Spirit Breaker. You went in a little bit too far here. Kaka is nearby, might be able to go for the save here, and well, this is the last, so they're trying to just deny a duel, and instead Pure turns it around onto the Bat Rider, so that will be a kill. Backside, GPK goes in aggressively. Sumail does have that shield rune, big back wall on before Nightfall does have that Chronosphere available. He might have to throw up the Stone Gaze. Monet doesn't allow him to really turn back. Saved, yes, saved.
Nobody's dead. They all got away.
All live. That is nuts.
Oh, what a play. I mean, Pure just turns and stands his ground. GPK with an instant cancel of the Mortimer Kisses, too, on Sumail. Nice play.
Very, very, very big. I forgot what I was talking about literally going into that.
I literally did as well. Oh, you're talking about
Sumail.
Sumail. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sumail.
he's going Ags instead of like Gleipnir. Is that like the dual answer this game, or what is the idea behind this one?
That's literally what I was thinking too. Dual answer, and then maybe just like to send the Dusa in the front, right? Just good luck. Here, I'm just gonna maybe. I guess I'm not sure. That's actually really interesting. You can save people out of, I mean, grab people out of Chrono if they're on the absolute cusp of it as well too. I guess I don't know. But I think more so it's about him just looking to get the combos with the Darks here and throw the Dusa in.
Okay, I like it. I guess, yeah, Vac Wall, it is a stun to follow it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And
Provides-
XXS did disassemble into the pipe, so he's got that done.
It's an interesting one because it provides, I guess you could say, like a different form of team fight in comparison to going the Gleipnir build where you're more scaling and team fighty. This is just strictly team fight. Definitely interesting. Maybe I'm missing something. Cool.
Yeah,
Monet.
does catch the Medusa. Goodbye. What a great wraparound here from BB team.
That's a massive kill. This could even allow Nightfall to catch up completely, and that would just be tied with the Dusa, which is something you never really want to see if you're playing the Dusa. You want to have that
Blink
network
reveal?
advantage.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, BBT, they're getting a lot out of this map. They're slowing things down. That pickoff is going to be pretty instrumental to let Nightfall keep that pace up. But now, Taka, the male.
He gets the blink. That's his blink reveal, the cookie to follow, and they get the trade. So what could have been a moment for this, you know, Basil's Void to catch up, he gets taken down. He does get the Midas off at least.
He does,
so
yeah.
that's,
He's still in
you know,
a
something.
He's still in a pretty, I mean, of course, in a pretty damn good spot. But yeah, it would have been huge if he stayed alive the whole time the Deuce is dead arm. Sumail doesn't have to commit kisses either, too. It's just a blink lasso play because he was kind of low.
They come and pop on Aster. They're bringing numbers, but it's like they will back away. You know, seeing a lot of heroes start to show up.
This is a really cool game. Even though it's very, very kill low, just the way that the macro movements are happening around the map to just find these cores. And that is the Ags now done for Sumail. And they're actually going to accelerate. They're going to be the ones to force a Roshan, force a fight in the area here.
Yeah.
Or they're thinking about it, at least.
They don't have to try.
Definitely not the absolute best.
Yeah. There's no minus armor, no medallions, nothing. They're just going to try and just brute force this.
I mean, maybe because they have such a bit like wonky Rosh lineup, it's like BB's like has absolutely no idea this is happening. Because this is pretty unexpected.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of damage, using a lot of spells. They will eventually bring it down. And Aegis, I'd have to imagine, is going to go to Monet, right? Like, you can't afford this Medusa to go down again.
No, you definitely give it him.
Right?
All right.
Aegis for the Medusa.
BB's able to farm around the map during all that, but I wonder if they even knew this was going down. Maybe they did, but it seems pretty unexpected with this type of lineup from Aster. Especially because BB have everything ready.
So Monet closing in on his Scotty. I'm trying to think like what he like. I feel like it's probably the butterfly build eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, you can probably imagine Nightfall is going to do like BKB Mjolnir MKB or something like that if he even feels like he needs it. Aster, they're looking to make another move here. They've got the lasso back up from Taka, and they still have that ward that was lingering in the area.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Tier bottom one should fall here to Monet.
Toronto
grabs
Tokyo.
that.
He's trying to farm this stack, but they seem absolutely certain of where Aster is. He backs away.
Dire's middle tower is under
They see Sumail's courier fly. Wait, what the hell's going on up top? Sumail's courier's flying top. BB sees the courier and actually back away because they're thinking he's top.
Dude, dude, this is next level gameplay.
Is that next
guys,
level?
They're top actually.
I'm actually unsure what. Was that next level or was that like Miss Micro? That was, I don't know, that was interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was wondering if he was like sending
Sure,
his
it was Miss
courier
Micro.
through the gate or something like that, but he didn't have any items on it, so
Yeah.
that was interesting. Wonder if it was a mind game.
Dude, that would be actually so wild if it was. They're like, oh, courier's
Dire's
top. All
bottom
right.
tower
Alright.
is under attack.
Very interesting.
I've been
You ward
wanting this.
portal there. And 20-minute Tormentor is up, and the 21-minute Rune will be up soon. And this is a very good position for Aster to be in.
Yeah, prime for the taking around here. I think they're just BB look to make the same move. It looks like they are pinging it out that they want to try to go for the opposing Tormentor too.
It's not as easy though, because You don't have the tier 1 down.
No, you need the Void also. I mean, splitting between just your Storm and your Coddle definitely doesn't seem great. Yeah, they're bringing the rest of the squad. But there's, I mean, that one's already dead.
Yeah, they're going to just trade the Wisdom runes, it looks like. Well, I'd imagine so. It looks like Aster's sticking around.
I mean, they're deciding to apply their own pressure instead. They're hitting the tier 2.
Yeah, I like this.
And they're getting a lot. XXS is mid. Sumail's farming jungle. And they will be able to claim that Wisdom rune. And they're even looking to contest up here.
Aka going in, just gets caught by a nice Vortex. He's looking for his opening, but a great vac wall comes out. GPK is out of mana. He's going to need the Coddle to try and keep him in this. There's going to be a Chakra. A nice Dispel from Pure. He's looking for the Gobble and connects into the Nether Strike. Sumail. This man with the snipe from downtown. Very sick. That is a great way of dealing with the Shadow Demon Disruption, actually.
That was awesome, actually. And now they're going to be able to get Tormentor, too. 3-man vacuum. I mean, Monet
they're out of mana.
Yeah.
On Monet.
He's fine.
He'll get it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's split between 4. All right. I mean, another good shard also being given. They get X successes.
Yeah,
I actually got the earlier one. My bad.
It was Planar Pocket for the Spirit Breaker.
Oh, I mean, that could actually be huge versus Duel and Vortex.
Yeah.
And even versus Destruct. Versus a lot of these single target. Even Disruption, if you can eat one of those onto a Dusa.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool situations for Planar Pocket this game.
Yeah. That's, I mean, huge now for Master. Things are starting to slow down a little bit. BB was looking okay. Now a big hit again. GPK gets slowed down for a second time this game. He's bottom of the course. By a good margin, too. I mean, good, like, 1,000 gold at least.
Mel's going to find a Haste Rune.
Right.
So that'll be quite nice. He's much more slippery to find now. Mortimer going to just sprint around the map. I love his haste animation. It is so cool.
Oh, with the flailing legs and everything?
Yeah, he just gets up on his hind legs and flails. It's so good.
You talked about the little things of Dota that are super appreciative, like the voice lines and stuff like that. I think these little animations, too. The wounded animation of Marcy, where she's, like, clutching her hip, dude. The wounded brood mother with the, you know, the funny legs.
Like a
and
broken
everything.
leg, yeah.
Aster, smoked up behind Monet, continuing trying to force as much as they can with this Aegis timing.
Yeah, why not? Only 30 seconds left. They get a tier 2.
Aka's already hunting with the ward, too. He's got the Blink Force to have to grab someone out of base.
This is huge. I mean, imagine he finds the Shadow Demon here. He's sitting just far enough back on Toronto Tokyo, which is great, but it looks like EV team is going to bring the supports and back, like, force everyone else away. They're not losing anything on the map.
They knew. They were so far back, Tokyo. He has a gem, so he's going to be able to instantly get that D-ward.
Nice gem pickup. I like that a lot.
Yeah, same. You're on the back foot. You know they're hunting you. You know you're playing the greed game, attempting to try to go to late game scaling. So, gotta watch out if you're under any type of vision. But Aster, still in a very comfortable spot. This Dusa continuing to get quite big. Her timings. It'd be problematic for this Void to keep up with them. And Storm, we're definitely seeing GPK just continue to get slowed down. So much attention on him. He's got Kai Assange, but
that will help.
Still a bit fragile.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, now he's at least got 1,800 HP. He was pretty fragile until that point.
And it is going to be the butterfly for Monet after the Iascati, which is exactly what we would have expected. And Mjolnir next on the block here for Faceless Voice. He did finish up the BKB. A little bit of True Strike, of course, from that, but
only some.
Might need to progress into the MKB afterward.
Yeah. They're smoking. BKB finished up on Pure. A couple item timings that BBT has hit, but will they get an angle? I think Aster... It looks like they maybe saw that.
The Deuce Illusions, were they in range?
It looked like they kind of did, but...
Ooh, an Illusion Rune for Monet. That's going to be nice. Just send these down the lanes, force them to deal with it.
Disrupt it. Honestly, maybe you just break the smoke to disrupt this illusion.
Yeah, you do.
Get your own push started, too. Maybe you can hit a little bit onto this mid tower with it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A decent chunk of damage. Where are we at on darks here? Okay, Guardian Green's done. Going for the blink. He's got a Philo Stone as well. Like,
he is
probably one of the best items you could get.
He's unbelievably farmed, honestly. And yeah, I like that he's going for the blink next. Definitely some big wombo. He's already landed like a multiple 3-4-man vacuum walls. And this shard is something that you can never really like count out. I actually think this shard on Darkseer is one of the hidden, sneaky, amazing ones.
Dude, it's so good. The fact that it just breaks blinks because you can't chase after him. Oh, Haka? Just short on the blink. They're going to get initiated anyway. GPK needs to be careful. The charge will be dodged. Nicely done from him. He's gone through a lot of his mana already, though. And with the ward on the high ground, BB team definitely have the advantage, so they will back away at the moment on Aster.
Fancy little play. I mean, GPK has to burn a lot of mana, but he charges, you know, zips into the Spirit Breaker to dodge the charge and stuff like that. But these two heroes are actually pretty annoying to kill. They're fairly tanky, and Spirit Break with Bulldoze, yeah, you just see him waltz away.
And they're so close to the butterfly timing on the Medusa. It seems like they really don't want to force anything until they have it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. I think they're not feeling too forced to do it, but still seeing Nightfall grow. Mjolnir is done.
That's big. Looks like he's queued up a Halberd afterward, so
that's
a little bit more of a defensive option. Another way, I guess, to stop the Medusa.
That was the 9 Pandas, I believe it was, during Berlin, because the Medusa was just untouched and uncontested, really, and unbeaten. This was their approach. They bought multiple Halberds afterwards and just continued taking it to late game and just kept disarming her.
Pretty quick Roche respawn. 30 seconds. We'll drop into the top side of the map.
That might be perfect in sequence with Monet's Butterfly being picked up.
Yeah. So the real question is which team's going to set up for this first, because that is going to be a really big objective here for both of these teams. Getting Aegis on Storm or Medusa could change a lot.
Yeah, Vision is going to be super important around that next fight, around that next top side. Whoever gets these type of initiations, seeing if Pure can, in particular, can get a good start of the fight to delete a hero. I feel like he kind of has to on BBT. He has to get a good, clean initiation, or the team fight overall looks like it could be complicated with the way Aster can just naturally jump in with the Darkseer. I think for me, at least, eyes on Pure if he gets a good big grab for BB.
Here they go. Aster, all 5 to the top lane into a smoke. They know the timing. It's got to be up soon. And GPK, Save, and Toronto Tokyo all here at the moment.
In Tokyo,
Batrider, that's the big catch, right? If he finds it. He sees the courier. Gets the ward down. He's going to find Tokyo. That's a great opening. And
that's
with him going down, the question is, can you find more? Toronto Tokyo's dead. Monet here on this Medusa. Just got to clean up these illusions.
That's one of the bigger grabs they can get. That's the gem. Did they actually pick it up?
Oh, duel on the backside. It's caught the Batrider. He's going to buy back on the Shadow Demon as well. Monet is almost out of mana. GPK comes in. He's also out of mana. The Stonegate was committed. The Chrono right on top of him. Mortimer Kiss is coming through. The save is not going to be there. And now Sumail needs to be careful. The charge in. They managed to catch this Spirit. A nice back roll onto 5. But is it enough? Is the damage already done? Sumail falling so low as Pure trying to chase after him. The damage is there. It's the static charge that actually makes it work. Success now on the run. Does have a blink in 1. Gets away before the time dilation clips him.
And he'll
Big
be okay.
win here from BB team.
Huge. And they lost Tokyo at the start of the fight, but then he actually got the Medusa being held in place. She lost, what, almost all of her mana? I think like 2/3 at least, just being able to try to retreat from the fight. They don't even take the gem, I don't believe, right? I think they actually ended up reclaiming their own gem on BBT after all of it, too. So, huge fight.
Yeah, absolutely massive.
Totally stopped, and now Nightfall enabled to be able to get a Roche and enabled to be able to get that MKB timing. Uh-oh, Aster, your timing.
Yeah.
It's going away.
Storm Spirit might be up to grab this Aegis as well. He's up in 3. He could just TP top and Aster. There's no way to contest this. They're still going to scan it. Going back, they want to try and force another fight, but can't make it. No, they'll grab the Aegis. They can't risk it. It goes on to Nightfall. They won't actually make this connection here. And Aster.
Can they even
catch? They all get away. They get away super clean.
They can't even catch anybody on the retreat. BB. The biggest move that they possibly could have made there.
Dead even game now. Completely dead even. A massive XP advantage for BB team, but net worth completely flat, and it's really Nightfall who's benefited the most. He gets some really big kills in that fight. Level 18 now, so the 3rd point in Chrono Spirit available.
Yep, and the greed, it's paying off. You know, this is what they went for. They went for a bit of a, you know, little bit of a greedier draft in terms of like lanes. I think they probably knew that some of these lanes weren't gonna win, but overall for mid game, for late game, and mostly for late game, this is what they're looking for. And this Void is now absolutely set. I mean, the graph's so even, but I feel like now it's pretty decent advantage for BB. Aster definitely on a timer. They need this next move to work on Aster. Now they're playing into this Aegis and Cheese and almost a full MKB on Nightfall.
Whoa, we're going to see an Aghanim Scepter from Kaka here instead of like the BKB, which is what we've seen a lot on these support Bat Riders. Like, it's just like Blink Force BKB, and he's just finding the openings. But he's going for the axe, hoping for a double lasso of some kind.
Maybe feeling like they need some extra type of control, because control is definitely a problem in their fights. It's really just the Spirit Breaker now at this point. Sumail, his isn't really as impactful anymore compared to what it was early game. They don't have like a follow-up with these vacuums and stuff. If they have like a vacuum double lasso, maybe it could be a little bit bigger. But yeah, I bet BBT is just getting so much out of the map. They're about to have Lincoln's done for GPK2, so he'll have coverage versus the Bat Rider in particular, and even versus the Charge.
Oop. And Save will grab Recall. That's fantastic. It's the Tormentor for that. Did the other Tormentor go down yet? It has not. Okay. So we still got like I think a minute and a half to 2 minutes before that one's up. So Lincoln's queued up on Sumail as well. I mean, obviously just a great universal hero item. Does protect him a little bit against the duel, obviously, the Demonic Purge. So there are a lot of use cases for it this game.
But his growth is totally stopped. I mean, Sumail, after he's still 5-2. Don't get me wrong about that stuff. But just looking at the game state, looking at the Storm, even though GPK is 3-3, he is pretty much same net worth, and his impact you can start to feel it's going to start becoming a lot more apparent than Sumail's is.
We've had a lot of really cool engagements and map movements this game, but it is 8-9. Like, not many heroes have actually died.
No, I think this time around, like, yesterday we saw Secret when BB was trying to slow the pace of the game down. Secret just hunted them all the time. They had like 30 kills or something like that. This one, Aster, they weren't able to find these kills, and BB's been able to play for their late game insurance, which it's kicked in now completely.
Yeah. We're going to see a smoke up here from BB Team as Faceless Void did finish his MKB. He's got Chronosphere back off cooldown. We get a good ward up here on the high ground. On this mid tower, Sumail's going to show for a second. It's the blink down. Okay.
Just got to be careful.
Yeah, you need to be very careful. How far are we from this Hex? Caudle is very close, actually. About 1,000 gold from his Hex.
I mean, they're next to like a lot of big items even after they finished up their MKB and stuff. Look how Aster's playing on the map. They're feeling very scared to show kind of anywhere. Only the Spirit Breaker at the moment looking to push out these waves. And there's, as you said also, the recall is going to open up more opportunity for BBT to find these heroes that are split up at the moment. So it looks like Monet, he's like, okay, well, I have an issue where I can't kill my own illusion, as we saw in the top one, so he actually has to go for an MKB himself just to kill his own illusion. Feels kind of bad.
Yeah, that is a rough one. I mean, it's a great damage item for the Medusa always. But
sure.
Yeah, you have to deal with this. The fact that you now have Scotty, Butterfly, Manta, like, these illusions are super tanky. So, that's rough. A lot of times you'd prefer Daedalus, but that just makes your illusion stronger.
Yeah.
Tormentor's up.
BB's on the aggressive, though. So they've got bottom pushing in, they've got mid pushing in. Have to be careful if you go for this type of Tormentor if they sneak over there.
I really like their positioning. They're just putting a lot of attention on this mid-tier one. They will fort the wave. This should give them the time to actually go for the Tormentor now.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Who doesn't have their shard? Is it just Medusa, Bat Rider? Snap. Okay, so...
Still quite a few.
Yeah, still quite a few. That is taking a moment. Lord. Alright, goes to Kakat. Probably the worst one you could have gotten of the three, but...
Yeah, but at least preventing BB from, taking it or anything like that, so...
Yeah. Nightfall's Aegis is up in 7. I was like, he has to know. He's time walking away immediately.
They're
He'll
still
smoke up onto the high ground, though.
I mean, GPK's ready to jump.
He gets the vision onto Kaka, and without a BKB, a freebie there for the Storm Spirit.
GPK online.
That ward has been so instrumental.
And yeah, GPK he's top 3 net worth after having a very, very tough game and everything versus Sumail. It doesn't even look like that was the case. Sure, he's not some flashy kill scorer. I mean, but nobody really is in this game because there's only 10 kills.
Let's see, whose is the most impressive? Save on the Coddle, 2-0-6.
Hell yeah. Hey,
that's the most impressive one.
And speaking of save, the Hex, it's done.
It's coming. It is on the courier, zooming across the map.
And getting these, I mean, they get mid tower, they're setting up for bottom. Aster, they're still kind of trapped inside the base. They're terrified to take a fight.
We are, okay, MKB is done for Monet. If he wants to buy it out and not have buyback. It looks like he will do exactly that. Yeah, right, you can't afford not to have it.
No, he has to have this item.
Use up a Scythe next, which obviously a great item on Medusa, so why not?
Oh, and he's playing versus Storm and Void, to elusive course, so that always makes sense.
A A lot of sites queued up this game. One on XXS as well, who buy out pretty soon. Riders, Ags almost done.
They need extra forms of control. Been really the issue. Catching this storm and this void. BB just playing around them perfectly.
Ooh, got
20's hit. Halberd's done on Nightfall. Level 20 talent also acquired.
Huge. That Chronosphere attack speed is the difference a lot of the time in killing a hero.
Yeah. And GPK in.
Woo! Even. And Spirit Breaker actually saving Kaka with a planar pocket there.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I was wondering what it was. Nicely done. Okay.
Yeah, he would have gotten the Vortex.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool. And Nightfall, he's very confidently just kind of showing himself at this point now because he has the SD with the Blink Dagger behind him. And look at his status resist, right? He's got quite a fair bit. Got with 26% now with this Halberd plus this Titan Sliver.
It's, yeah, super value. You can look for Nightfall. It's not going to be easy. The charge is going to come through. The Nether Strike doesn't connect. He gets hexed. But Kaka, a huge back wall. He's looking for his lasso. He's only managed to catch Nightfall, but do they find the kill? He gets a Chrono onto 4. Instead, pick and choose your target. He's going to take down the bat. XXS is next. Another charge.
They got Nightfall.
Pure, he can't get a duel. He has to back away. GPK falling low. It's Monet versus the world, but his illusions will get cleaned up. The TP out on the Storm Spirit ends up being all right, but BB team, it's a costly fight there as you lose that Faceless Void.
So Stonegaze actually got popped, and even though he lands a 4-man Chrono, he couldn't like turn and face certain targets because so you saw he kind of like ran around in a circle a little bit because he was afraid to get Stonegaze caught. And either way, still gets caught from an initial stun at the end.
Ward Sentry pays off. It's going to net them a nice kill there onto the Spirit Breaker. They stick around. I mean, Pure is a scaling core. He didn't get the duel off last fight, but finds one anyway. That's big. 122 dual damage now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was an interesting fight. It looked scary from both sides for a second, right? Because the 4-man Chrono and the 3-man Vacuum at the start, but things were just really awkward because Stonegaze was off. So okay.
I didn't catch that one, so thank you.
I thought Aster probably pretty happy after that fight because that did look really scary for a second there.
This is pre-Ags. If Kaka gets the double lasso there, this could have been completely different.
Yep.
You were saying, like, you don't have follow-up to the back wall. Well, maybe this is actually it. I think you're right.
Yeah, I
think double lasso.
That plus the hexes that are eventually going to come out, some extra type of control.
Oh, Pure goes for a Spell Prism here on the Legion. Wants that CDR for his skills here. So, very interesting one. Maybe doesn't get the Vindicator Axe RNG there.
Yeah, Spell Prism is still one of the best items on like everybody. Who doesn't want more spells? Nightfall has a fresh Mindbreaker, and same thing for GPK. Monet, I believe, also found himself a Mindbreaker. And he commits. He actually buys the Mystic Staff since it gives you a ton of survivability. They've spent all their gold. This next Roche.
Anyone holding buyback right now?
Legion Commander, Darkseer, and SD. Tokyo's buybacks have been crucial, too, as we saw, especially in that last top fight. He kind of baited himself and then bought back.
Very tense Roshan here. This will be the third one of the game. A refresher could make or break it for both teams.
There's an Aghanim's on GPK, so gotta watch for these double-side vacuums.
Gobble up. He's just scouting with it, see what he can find. The charge is going to come into the mid lane. Does find Nightfall. He just time walks away. Toronto, Tokyo almost gets the purge there onto the Spirit Breaker. Scouting with the illusions. See what they can find. Both teams hesitant to start the fight, but you need a perfect opening here.
Dire are scanning.
They have this gem that they really want to get the D wards. Oh, Nightfall's in pretty deep. Takes a lot of damage there initially, but Kaka comes in, actually doesn't find, but the back wall comes through. He needs the lasso, but the duel comes through instead. They caught the Spirit Breaker. Pure doing a lot, but gets stone gazed instead. The Chronosphere, the Mantas, they're damage from Sumail! The 20 talent just destroys the Faceless Void and GPK. He's out of mana. Silence up the gobble up the stun. Monet just crushing now. And you get out.
Oh,
Aster. What? I don't know how he killed that Void. Ridiculous damage.
I think it was a Mindbreaker plot, right? He has Mindbreaker too, so he got the silence and the burst. GPK will get a retreat kill on the Spirit Breaker, and it looks like perhaps inevitable. Maybe they'll get Roche, but Aster, they're running immediately down there.
You have to to go bottom to contest the Roach, right? You got 37 seconds, no void.
And that was... Ate the duel, by the way? I
Yeah,
missed
it was.
It fight. It was.
Yeah.
There's too much crazy stuff going on, but yeah. And yeah, here we go. I mean, it's going to be a big fight. 20 seconds still, no void. Chrono will still be on cooldown, too.
He did 1,033 on the snap. Like, every single one of those just crushing him. Kaka goes in. He pulls the lasso, Popeye Lincoln, but they kill the cookie, the back. Dude, they get him with the silence. It's
80
honestly
seconds.
The Mindbreaker that's crushing.
It's two of them.
Austin looking for Pure. He's going to be forced to BKB. Does he get charged? Doesn't connect. Very good attempt there. But yeah, you're right. 80 seconds, no Storm.
Oh, wow.
70 seconds without the Shadow Demon. That's a dieback on him.
Aster is playing these last few fights so damn well. I mean, the bottom fight was beautifully executed, top fight, and now bottom two with getting the catch. That was the Hex reveal. XXS had just bought it. They get the catch, even though the Lincolns ends up not eating the lasso and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. They have extra control. And now it's a Roche with an Axe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Massive.
This is clutch here from Aster.
Get the Ags onto the Monet. You know, why not? Mystic Snake now having that extra form of disable, which is so impossible to play around in fights. Like, you just catch a stray snake, you can CC up an entire team.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that was honestly a perhaps game-deciding kind of fight there. Just the patience there from Sumail. I mean, Nightfall literally waited so long to chrono top, and Sumail kills him anyway. They get so much momentum after this.
I really want to look at the, like, timing on his 20 talent, because he was 20 at the fight break there. So I'm curious if he had just got it.
Yeah.
And was playing around. Like, I have no idea. That was so sick.
They all just, like, I mean, BB also did, but they, like, multiple people just picked up their neutral items, and they got double Mindbreaker on Aster,
Yeah.
so.
There's 4 Mindbreakers in this game.
And it's one of the best neutral items in the game at the moment. I think that and Ninja Gear for me are the top 2.
Yeah. And Kaka gets the Ninja Gear, so
Yeah.
you're now dealing with a Perma-Smoke Bat Rider. Didn't go BKB, doesn't need it really now. This is great for him,
Wow.
and he'll get it eventually, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. What did he just buy?
Oh, who was that? Sorry, I was
Aether
flipping,
Lens.
like,
Oh,
different
Kaka.
people.
So I was like, he'll get a BKB eventually. No, he just buys an Aether Lens. He wants more cast range on
Okay.
this lasso. Which,
Sure.
I mean, with Ags, it's pretty cool. Does it increase the search range of the Ags? I feel like it doesn't.
Not that I believe, no. I mean, now with this, though, they could get these double lassos. Spearbreaker's just in.
Oh, just good old stats resistance. Goodbye.
He could get
the D-ward.
the further lassos into the base, I think, here with this Aether Lens and stuff,
Yeah.
too, so.
Goodbye, Acorn. Rest in peace.
I mean, this has been honestly so impressive from it. I mean, Monet's he's still looking good on this. So he's struggled, but I feel like him and like Sumail and XXS have kind of giga stepped up in these last few team fights where they're landing kind of perfect connections. Like, Sumail's about to 25. They're getting closer and closer to 25 now too. XXS has yet to die.
Absolutely massive. Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the Aeon Disc get the ready too, so that's great.
And Ags and a Shard for the Dusa. Things have gotten quite a bit more complicated after those two fights. And now that playing Aegis, they can't actually like look
He
to
bought
fight.
the shard by mistake.
I mean, oh.
He just got it off the Tormentor. He just got it off the Tormentor and he bought it. It's like, wait a minute.
Because I was looking at that
whoops.
too, and I was like, wait, what? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they just took the Tormentor and got it. He has to go like sell it like side shop. Sometimes you get a little bit ahead of your items there.
There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens. All 5 shards now? Oh, they're actually still missing Sumails.
No Sumail. And for Aster now at this point, you have a blanket to be able to sit back and farm Sumail 25. Like BB now at this point kind of trapped in the base. They're probably a bit scared to go aggressive because the Aegis is on the Deuce, and Aster's just like, oh, this is gorgeous. Now we actually get to scale even harder. 2 or 3 big fights. Massive. They're looking. They're actually hunting. Pure?
Ooh, Pure under the Shadow Blade there. Blink out. GPK goes in. Planar Pocket absorbs it again with all of that bulldoze.
Well, it's an
It's just...
It's an Axe pull, so.
Oh, it was Ags. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I forget the Ags now.
Either way, it's like, yeah. I think I've seen him soak like 5 spells or something at least.
status just from Boldos is so good.
Very balanced.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under
It was
attack.
worse at one point, wasn't it? I feel like it was.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it was 80% at some point, but either way, 70's crazy. Yeah, they're... I mean, BB continue being kind of trapped in the base, and Aster's playing very comfortably. They're just running around with each other, so not giving an opportunity for someone to get picked off, and they're actually... They have a base scored, a really deep one. Seeing all of
save!
BB.
The double lasso! It's Mountain Cure as well, but a nice jump in here from the Storm Spirit. A big back wall before the Chrono. This is the dream. You got 4 here. In comes Sumail once again. He just destroys save. Nightfall has to time walk away, and you've lost Legion as
They're all
well.
healthy.
A dieback on Pure. You only lose the Bat Rider. The double lasso already did its work.
Nightfall just doesn't have the damage at this point. Yeah, you can kill a bat, but that's about it inside that Chronosphere. And you end up actually killing... You get your Coddle killed. He's caught inside of that Chrono and just gets completely focus fired from Sumail. 25 is now hit.
It's 25 as a result. It's huge.
Wow. Structures are fortified.
So suddenly you have some serious Snapfire problems. You're not just worried about the Medusa. You're gonna yoink the gem that was sitting on the ground there. So sitting on 2. In comes GPK. A nice grab at the moment, doing a lot of damage. Monet's actually falling very low, but the Aegis is up in 1 second. He needs help. He needs to get out of here. He's held in place. A nice vacuum back, but Medusa falling low. The Goblet into the Mortimer Kisses. Is it enough? It's not. Sumail doesn't have the little shredder for 3 seconds. GPK is out of mana. Sumail could turn. Little Shredder gets silence for the moment. A nice Vortex again. You need a charge through. You need to be able to save him here. The disarm, it's not enough. They get him.
What a hold.
An amazing hold from BB team.
Good God. Aegis timing out. They pass him the cheese. Had 1 second until it was going to be active for Monet, perhaps to swing things, but... Jeez. Of course, only given the 1,000 mana, so maybe he would have died anyway. But a nice call. I mean, BB, that's without their Faceless Voids Chrono. That's without Pure, and they're able to at least push them off faster.
Save as a nullifier.
Yeah, has it finished after? Did he get a kill in the last fight, I guess, or something? Or just a big assist gold? Okay. That's, I mean, definitely a really big pickup versus the Spirit Breaker and versus the Darkseer. And if you look...
Ags on Toronto, Tokyo as well.
Yep. That's a big turnaround, the fact that they are able to hold that high ground without Pure. Now level 25's been hit on the Faceless Void.
Oh, that is very nice. Yeah, backtrack going to do wonders for him. He's queued up the refresher. I mean, that's kind of just always the late game item for the Faceless Void, right?
Yeah. And people who, by the way, just FYI, I know the cheese thing, Sumail passed him the cheese, so it's still on cooldown because he had to move it, so yeah. 6 seconds or whatever the hell it was, yeah. So, BB, I mean, 30 seconds still. They're trying to get aggressive, trying to get some information down here.
Guessing Kaka's going to try and cut the wave?
I mean,
I'm not 100% sure, but...
This is big. Nightfall's actually gotten a full refresher now, so maybe that will give him enough to be able to bring down multiple heroes inside 2 Chronos.
Did he sell something for this? His Midas. Okay.
Gone.
Yeah, I was like, he definitely didn't have the gold a moment ago. But yeah, sells Midas for the refresher.
Midas and I think his treads, or maybe he sold the treads before that. I didn't quite see.
Oh yeah, maybe. I mean, he doesn't have mana issues because of the Coddle, right? It is one of those things where it's like you're always gonna have Chakra Magic if he needs it. So this is big.
Executions, pretty much everything. If BB's able to get these big connections, I mean, this Toronto Tokyo having the Aghanims also is pretty massive versus something like Duso. You just can deactivate the split shot and stuff like that. You actually are quite strong.
Let's also talk about the other refresher that just came out. XXS on the Darkseer gets his.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, double refresher, or I guess double wall. All right, now pretty big.
Double hex, double wall. Pretty massive.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker, just gonna walk on the high ground, get the smoke pop. Didn't have bulldoze up, didn't feel confident.
Aster just have to be careful how much they stick together versus this the blue hole from GPK plus the double chrono.
A lot of blue.
A lot of blue. I'm just also eyes on Sumail. If he's not inside the chrono, he's got this blink to be able to angle himself for the shredders.
I love this. Monet's like illusion split right now. He's actually just grabbing the wave here to try and slow down BB and force them back, but
that's smart.
It's Roach. It's gonna move top, or sorry, it's gonna move. It's gonna come bottom, but the timer is still 2 minutes away.
They'll scout it, throwing a creep there. They're actually looking for a wraparound play here. They're running right into Nightfall.
gonna get found. They get the charge onto 3. The big lasso catches too. A nice disruption for the Chrono. It's found the big target, the Darkster. He's gonna combine the Aeon. This Nullifiers out though. He needs help and fast. Can he get the wall down? He's actually fine. The second Aeon just comes through. Nightfall needs to run. XXS still alive, but a second Chronosphere from Nightfall is in. They will finally find their connections, but the Stone Gaze doing work from Monet on the backside. You managed to buy back here on Pure. You've taken down the Darks here. GPK falling low.
Aster's
He's
too
going to get
healthy.
out, but Monet still here, standing his ground. A lot expended in only a couple deaths.
They barely even finish off the Darks here, honestly. Like, it takes 2 full Chronos. The second one, Nightfall, barely gets out.
Here. Woo. They're going to find Monet. And they actually can't find the kill, though. He's got the cheese at the ready. The Hex comes out on the Shadow Demon. A nice gobble up comes through, but the Hex onto the Medusa. Is it too much? He's burning through them, and he finally gets the kill. The cheese, again, still available. The disarm is there. Nightfall trying to do damage. He will pop the cheese as they will back away.
I think it's a 4-man Mystic Snake that restored, like, all of Monet's mana there. I think it's Stone.
On the deck.
I think it's
back up.
stoned 4 heroes into Mortimer Kisses, too, and then he's able to stand his ground.
Dude, they are looking so aggressively here. The Silence does catch GBK into the Hex. They get the save. It's going to be from Pure. That's going to connect for the moment. A nice Hex turnaround there. They've caught the Shadow Demon. Snapfire is dead. The damage Kaka with a nice double lasso, but it's going to be Monet by himself. He's dead.
Holy crap.
It's giving triple buybacks from Aster. A huge commitment there from BB Team as they're looking for more. He's caught the Spirit Breaker. He's trying to charge away the Goblet from downtown. Sumail just shreds through the Coddle. He gets him. That's a dieback. Monet is here aggressively on the front side. And now the advantage is Aster's 4v5 as Roshan is up in 20.
They've got 5 and there's no Chrono either. Save dead for 2 minutes. Too many things happening in the fight, Steven. Sum it all up.
Oh my goodness, these are intense.
Crazy persistence to chase and get Monet, but Aster, they have the buybacks and they are positioned around bottom since they are Radiant. They can TP out. Roche gonna spawn in a second here. Very difficult for BB to contest this now too.
Another free Aghanim Scepter. I mean, we either give it to Spirit Breaker or Darkseer, right? So,
ooh, that's actually a good call. Man, they're both... Spirit Breaker one could maybe be. I don't know, actually. I'm not even going to say. I don't even know. It's
the extra stun from Darkseer seems pretty good. But, I mean, or they give it to Sumail and he sells his and buys another damage item. So that might actually happen. All right, no, he'll give it to the Darkseer.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
This game is this game is absolutely insane. Like, Aster doing some miraculous fights to bring things back when BB got control of the game, and then BB doing some cool fights to almost bring things back, but the buybacks end up reigning supreme here for Aster. Now Aegis and Cheese on them comfortably.
This game is so nuts, man. Oh my goodness, a 6K lead for Aster now thanks to the double Axe blessings they've got this game, basically. So,
I mean, look at the... They did get Axe, but look at that swing anyway, right? It was like a...
Yeah.
I think we're at like almost a 20,000 gold lead for Aster before all that kind of happened. Just chunked down to 6K, so still seeing Initiation is going to be massive, but... See if Nightfall decides to buy something different. Maybe some extra... I don't know what he buys, though, or how he changes his build at all. It's just a little difficult for him to really focus fire so many different targets. It feels like they're very good at killing maybe 1 or 2, but then afterwards it becomes a little weird.
Ags is not the item for him. Like, sometimes when you lack catch, like, you can go the Ags or whatever, but it's like... I'm at a loss. Like, you have to backpack Refresher, which doesn't even feel good. Like, I don't know if you can afford to do that.
We'll have to see, because the one thing is like they're holding on buyback, right? So they have the buyback on Storm Void and the Keeper of Light, while in comparison to Aster, who pretty much used all of them except for the Darkseer, if I'm not mistaken, and he's actually short on gold. So the next fight, it still can be this weird fight where BB brings like 8 numbers, 8 heroes, and Aster only really has 5 or 6 or something like that, or 7, based off Aegis.
Refresher bought out on GPK. So double AoE Vortex is available. One of those awesome late game combos as well. I mean, the amount of CC in this game for both teams is wild.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, the jumps are going to be massive. Who gets the first initiation? Who gets the big vacuumer? Who gets the big chrono? And separation, really. It's like, I feel like for both teams, you can't be clumped up. If you're clumped up on either side, it could be disastrous.
BB team in their base gonna smoke up as 5 and get ready to leave. I mean, everything's available. Both teams have all of it.
Yeah. BB has the slight number advantage with after buybacks. That is.
Yeah. It was so hard for them to kill XXS in this last fight twice. or like with double chrono and everything, Monet actually goes for a Swift Link, which is a great final item, don't get me wrong, but you backpack your butterfly at the moment. It's pretty decent because of the illusions, like you don't have to deal with that aspect of it, but
I mean, positioning is going to be huge.
Yeah.
If he's able to dodge a chrono or something, it can be game winning. If he's able to just blink over a chrono and stone gaze the rest of the targets and stand his ground, that's amazing. So.
Dude, I honestly, it's like part of me like wants to see this game go to 60 minutes, but it's already so absurd and impossible to follow what's happening that it's just gonna make it exponentially worse in that aspect. Yeah. So I'm just like, I want to see it, but I also am just like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I keep like wondering if Nightfall does want to, because the one thing I'm looking at is the nullifier in particular, right? Because if he does want to go for XXS, he needs to have Pure to actually be in position.
Nullify.
If he doesn't even actually have it, though. Just kidding. So they have to have, save.
It's save, yeah.
I was like, did I click on the wrong here? It's save. So he needs to have save ready and pretty much in position every single time to be able to go for those type of nullifiers for him. So we'll see if he does deviate.
I will point out he did do it actually in the last fight, which was pretty impressive because like the heads up on that with everything going on, like he gets the nullifier off almost instantly.
I mean, look at the cast change of it as well too, though. When you have Spirit Form active, like
oh my lord, what is this? It's like 1,000 AOE.
Yeah, it's huge. So as long as he's not the one getting jumped, he should be able to get those nullifiers off for his buddy.
Dude, Sumail is about to have a second Daedalus.
Alrighty.
So that's the big red numbers that are going to be coming out from the Snapfire.
Yep, and they're picking up even bigger items. It's been a lot of consecutive fights, so lots of items being picked up. Spirit Breaker, a Lincoln's, and near 25 also.
I mean, do you take the Bulldoze Barrier? What the heck is that? That actually sounds pretty sick for helping in Chrono, I guess.
Charge ends up starting to do quite a lot of damage in late game, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't think we get to see the Spirit Breaker 25s too much in these games.
Yeah, it's like I didn't even know that was his other talent, but yeah, the bash damage off charge late game seems pretty nuts. That's hard to turn down.
2 or 3 charges in a fight, but either way, I don't know if it's going to be up to him or whatever. If it dictates any of these fights, this is going to be all up to who gets these big grabs, these big chronos, these big vacuum kind of plays.
Well, Aegis expires as BB team smoked. Tried to find the connection there with that expiring time. I mean, they're doing exactly what they need to do, right? They're hoping to find a pick as the Aegis expires. They don't manage to find it, but they do at least force Aster a little bit back off the map. There are no lanes of Eric's dead. What in the world?
I think Aster being a bit careful just because they don't have the buybacks and they know that BB did. So they're just like, if we lose a fight and we just lose, we just lose the game completely if we lose these heroes someone out of position. So they're playing it like extremely careful versus BB. But that's giving BB a ton of time to finish up these, full next items on almost everybody, if I'm not mistaken. Aeon Disc on Tokyo now. I mean, if Nightfall wants to commit for something else too, then he can. Save almost an Aeon. Gotten quite a bit of gold out of the map. Not to say Aster hasn't also, but...
Yeah. I mean, overall, this is like anybody's game. This 13k net worth advantage doesn't mean a whole lot at this point.
No.
It's like we're 60 minutes in almost. Everyone has like 5, 6, almost 7 slots on almost every hero.
Yeah, execution's going to be pretty much everything. I would say, like, BB, they have... both sides just have such explosive damage, right? That's the one thing. It's like, if they get this multiple Chrono, if they get this multiple Vortex with Refresher, with this bouncing talent and everything, too, then sure. But then if they get multi-lassoed and there's a Stone Gaze, like, it's nuts. And then Sumail... The thing is, too, is, like, Sumail with Stone Gaze also always have to count that in because of that bonus damage. Yeah. If they're stoned and Sumail comes in, he's going to eviscerate everybody.
He's going the delete heroes build, by the way. He's queued up the Divine Rapier, which he'll probably lock at some point until like a fight actually breaks out. But if he gets like a blink onto the back line, your heroes die before you can really respond.
Yeah, just gotta watch out. There is a blade mail on a Legion Commander. You might kill yourself. So that is one thing we gotta always keep tabs of, is the blade mails versus these late game snaps. And we're getting blessed. 10 seconds.
And, I mean, are we, or is this a curse? I really don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, because...
It's a blessing, come on. This is where the game breaks.
All right, here we go, 60 minutes. Nightfall moves into the Radiant triangle here, so he's going to get the advantage onto these Ancient Creeps. So We're gonna see these tier 5 items start to come out. Aster smoking bottom, looking for something.
What do we get?
Come on, baby, give me that. I mean, I'm trying to think what his item is. It Stygian? Is it going for the
Pirate Hat or Mirror Shield?
Yeah, like Mirror Shield maybe. Even Ex Machina's not bad.
He got a Mirror Shield.
Okay.
And it looks like GPK's found himself a Giant's Ring. Okay, not the usual one I guess you see on a Storm, but
Sumail
that's gonna
gets
look
Force
cool.
Boots.
I don't think I've ever seen a Giant Ring Storm, so this looks sick. His model looks pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't need. You know, he's not a hero that needs boots in the first place, but he is super tanky. 4,400 HP almost.
Yeah, interesting, cool. What other ones did we see? Sumail got the Force Boots, nothing else just yet, right?
Yeah, we got the items on Pure and on XXS at the moment, so they're
Pure
just
gets
deciding.
Okay, Pure gets a Pirate Hat. I mean, this is always just, you have to have one. I feel like
Yeah,
to start digging though. Start digging up those bounties.
Use it. Come on, there it is.
Yep.
Quick little 144 gold for each player. Not bad. What XXS is thinking? Ex Machina. Okay, that's very value actually for him.
Dream.
Holy heck!
On top of the armor.
Pirate Hat Medusa.
Probably one of the best things. Pirate Hat Medusa, all right. And look at save. Okay, this cast range is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Bro, what is the cast? Dude, you can't. This is illegal. This is illegal. You can't get away. You can't do this.
Oh baby.
Unless they have a telescope, just to add insult to injury. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be some insane cast range.
He can literally cast things like beyond his screen.
Roche.
At this point.
It's the next thing that's going to get started up. Kaka, he's actually taking the Book of the Dead. So he's going to have that to shove waves and perhaps get some scouting also.
I like this. The Archer Aura is pretty good with the waves.
That's true. That is actually true.
All right, into Roach we go. Can BB Team grab their first Aegis and free Aghanim Scepter? We'll have to see.
Nightfall switched, by the way. Sold Halberd, he has Butterfly now. So.
I like this. This is really good.
Sold Halberd, he has Butterfly.
Mortimer Kiss is just coming through right away. Not really getting a whole lot done here. He's trying to just scout for the rest of BB Team. They're all safe.
I would say Kisses is not the most useful thing, though. He's not really a Kiss, you know. He's not playing around that.
It's a scouting tool now.
It's a scouting tool a little bit more. But either way, I mean, they're going to look to take advantage of that. They know that Aster's positioned. They're looking for a flank.
Is there any other tier 5 item coming out?
I don't know,
if
but
there's anywhere missing. But we're going to get a fight potentially first. Oh my god,
10
Sumail
buybacks.
walks in. Sumail needs to be very carefully jump in. Monet's in trouble, but GPK's looking for him. Sumail blinks the other way. He dodges it. Okay, very nice. I'm going to go scout once again with the Necro Army. As, dude, this Roach can actually just get destroyed by Sumail.
It actually could. He's thinking about just making the move to call to go in it, but BB's already in.
They jump in. GPK does get the Vortex, but Spirit Breaker is pretty hard to find. They go into Monet. He's going to turn around. The BKB comes out. There's the Chronosphere. They pull him back, actually, into the weird spot, and now Sumail in trouble. GPK jumps on top of him. He needs help at the moment. There's the second one. He's got a cheese in the backpack. Can he pop it in time? He does, but the second Chronosphere doing work. Monet's falling low, and he's going to crumble. GPK just TPing out. He's safe. No way. Aster lose 3.
It costs 2 Chronos, but they'll back up immediately right afterwards.
The buybacks are out. Aster's all here at the ready as the Roshan is on the bottom side of the map. They've got 1 minute to try and grab this.
They're still here. They just recalled GPK.
They have refreshers still on the dark, so they're going to go in, look for Sumail. He managed to get caught right away. Can he do the damage? He's actually done it. GPK just solos 2. That's a dieback on them both, and now Medusa is stuck here. Spirit Breaker going to try and get back into the game, but Monet, he needs help and fast. The wall is down. Pure starting to fall low, but Monet caught once again. Disarmed on the run. Aster crumbling under the damage effect. Boom, and it might be game. 3 down without buyback, and that is it. No way do they manage to make it work. Unbelievable.
I mean, they waited for their late game insurance. They waited and waited. Aster, they wanted to be patient, waiting for buybacks and stuff like that. But BB, superior team fight, power of these refreshers, really. The double chrono, the double secondary kind of, I mean, chrono, whatever you want to call it, double black blue hole. He gets the successful catches. GPK, I mean, coming in clutch, he deletes heroes. He gets Sumail at the end and either just kills him 100 to 0 in 1 second.
Yeah, he didn't have anything. No BKB to
No
play around, right?
survivability.
Like, oh man, he is just a glass cannon and ended up just being glass at the end of the game.
And this was honestly such a sick game. Like, Aster made some incredible moves to come back in this one after BB got some type of momentum to get everything back, and then a quick turnaround right at the end. That was just a huge fight, really. That was super impressive the way that they kind of layered their spells, and even Tokyo jumping in, getting these Medusa illusions, starting off the fight kind of like that to give information. Aster, they couldn't really do much damage at all in the fight. They were fully controlled.
Dude, he always had Demonic Purge on the Medusa thanks to the Ags as well, right? Like,
yep.
He's sitting so far back, he sees the Medusa, instantly Demonic Purge, and double Chrono, double Vortex, like, just the saves from Legion. I mean, can't even count out this Coddle doing so much work in these games as well. This game all came down to just who gets the jump, who gets the initiation in execution and fights, and it's BB team.
Yep, and they found Sumail over and over again. Like, Sumail, he went for a pretty risky build toward the end there, just going for all this damage, right? No BKB to protect himself. And the hunt from GPK, you can see the first fight, he commits a hard zip to try to find him, and then eventually when he does find him, Sumail, little to no impact in those last few fights, so... Damn, I mean, BB, they wanted to play this one toward the late game. It looked like it was going a little back and forth, but inevitably, that late game does actually reign supreme for them. Not in the fashion I think they maybe expected, but still, it ends up working out.
This game was absolutely nuts. I really thought the damage from the Snapfire might end up being the change, like the X factor here, but nah, it's just, yeah, you can isolate the Medusa no matter what and still find these kills.
Yeah, and Tokyo, you know, the thing about the Shadow Demon versus the Medusa is you are actually another core throughout the entire game. Like, he did 27,000 damage as the Shadow Demon. He was super impactful. I feel like every single time I saw these illusions just inside the fight. There always was illusions being able to hit back. So, really well played from BB. Just patience, 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 even though Aster took some good fights when they looked like they had gotten control of everything. This last one, GPK, just 100-0 Sumail instantly, and then they isolate Monet.
Dude, I just realized that was the Seer Stone. That's actually what it was. I was like, how did he get vision of him? Saved Seer Stone to the back of the Roche pit and scouted him, and it just gave GPK the green light. Dude, it's... Seer Stone around Roche, that's actually huge. I didn't even see that initially.
Just everything around this Roche with these big wombo combo kind of connections. That was massive. I mean, this is probably one of the best games I feel like we've seen. Like, in terms of evenness and unable to tell who's going to really take it throughout the entirety of the game. It's like, oh, yep, Aster maybe on a bit of a timer, and then holy crap, they do like this humongous swing that they're able to get control, and then BB just with some patience and some good execution in team fights and patience for all these buybacks ends up reigning supreme. And this is, I don't think we're going to get too many games that just have that kind of back and forth in that type of fashion.
Yeah, this was an excellent series so far, and you know, we kind of knew it coming into this one. We both were excited to see how BB team and Aster play, and an amazing game one. We'll see if game two lives up to the hype, honestly. That'll be the big test here. If Aster can brush this one off. I mean, they had what looked like several moments where it was going to be their game, but it was just, yeah, such good performance from BB team and late game execution. Just flawless.
Yeah, looking forward to this next one. I hope we get another kind of crazy one of these battles of these late game monstrosities, and both teams end up getting what they kind of want, because I do feel like, you know, Aster got heroes they wanted. They got a draft that they were very happy with. BB was probably also pretty happy with their draft, so always looking forward to see who's going to end up reigning supreme with their ideas.
All right. Well, we're going to, you know, not wait too long. We're going to throw to a quick break, everyone, and we'll be back with the game number 2 of Team Aster versus Bet Boom. So stay tuned. We'll see y'all in just a little bit.
مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it وتسوي كذا وتسوي كذا وتسوي كذا مع الحشمة وانت تبغى راب خفيف اجيب تويستر انا اجيب لي وجبة الزنجر بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر حطلب باكت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر جيب له باكت جيب له زنجر جيب له الأصلي جيب له تويستر delicious yeah yeah
stand still if I had a say where I'd run to, where I would lay if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. If time were to stand still, if I had a say where I'd run to, where I would lay, if time bent to my will, if I could decide where I should remain, where I would hide. If time were to stand still. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I belong. Sure as the sun, come rain or shine, I know where I
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed a short break here. So, getting ready to go into the final game of the evening here for the Riyadh Masters group stage. My name's Cryptic, here with Fogged, and honestly, game one has to have been one of the most exciting games that we've had in a while. So, Aster versus BB, man. Whew, what can we expect for game two?
I don't know. The one thing I will say, it was a very exciting game in terms of like macro and determining who's going to win. It wasn't the most kill-hungry game or anything. Not the other game in particular. It did start pretty slow. I think we were, what, like 5-5 or 6-6 months, something around like the 20-minute mark. Did end up having a lot of super exciting late-game team fights, which was great, but get some more kills early on. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I like the kind of the blood-hungry games. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, dude, it was such a good draft from both teams. There were so many, like, plays and counter plays that they could all make, but just came down to the double chrono just being a little bit too much. And GPK, honestly, on the Sword Spirit, just doing some serious heavy lifting as well.
Yeah, I think that lack of control toward like later end and stuff like that for Aster started to become like, I guess, I mean, it's so hard because it's a 70-minute game, but bit of control issues, I would say, toward the end, because like Nightfall and Storm Spirit, Nightfall and GPK kind of like jumped around and did anything they wanted. They were the ones jumping and starting the fights over and over again, so maybe some things they could have perhaps done a little bit better on Aster, but either way, I mean, super good, super cool game, super close.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Oh, I was taking a look at some of the other streams, like kind of coming to a close here, and it looks like, unfortunately for Shopify Rebellion, they take an 0-2 against Talon, which puts them a little bit further down in Group B. And I think that does lock BB team as being a qualified team for the upper bracket or like the top 4 essentially at
Okay.
this point. Especially after this win, so they'll get their 9th win after that. They have looked so good. They have 2-0'd every single team except for Secret, which we covered the other day, which is just incredibly surprising. But yeah,
Yeah, no, this looks pretty appropriate, I would say, I guess, right? The teams that we're looking
yeah.
at the top. I mean, I did not expect, I guess, Talon to look that good because Talon literally has been like the most 50-50 team for a long time. Even they themselves would say it. Like, 23 would be like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with us, but we just seem to never be able to just be convincing. So that's a big step forward for them, for me.
Yeah, getting the 2-0 over Shopify, well, it doesn't quite guarantee them top 4, but it's very close. It's very, very, very close. So we'll see if they can hold it off. I think they just need one more win over Liquid. So if they won one against Liquid,
Yep.
they'll be top 4. Secret has to like 2-0 their last. Oh no, Secret's lost 2 series. They've only played. Or are they playing right now? Let me see. Yeah, they're playing right now. They just lost game 1 to Liquid in 18 minutes. Not a good start. So still a lot still to be done. We'll be very close to seeing how these groups are going to play out by the end of the today, as there's half the games tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they how all that ends up going down here. So does that mean that this game doesn't actually matter for BB? I guess it matters for Aster, but
it doesn't matter for BB. They're already guaranteed top 4.
Okay. And does first place in the group do anything in particular or no?
Let me see. Actually, I don't know if the placement matters because after this,
I don't think so.
We go to playoffs, which is double elimination. Oh yeah, so they go to the upper bracket. Yeah, but in terms of placement 1 through 4, maybe you're choosing your opponent right from the other group or something. So
yeah, okay, cool. I don't think that'll affect how they end up playing at all or anything versus Aster, but yeah, I was just curious. And sorry for the delay. Looks like we have a little bit of a hesitation here for the draft, everybody. So
yeah, apparently one of the computers crashed. It happens. So we'll get there in a moment. It gives us time to kind of recap what's been going on anyway, because there's been a lot of Dota being played.
Yeah, I'm still just like checking out some of the other ones because there's just so much Dota to catch. Don't want to miss out on any of these teams pretty much right now. But yeah, I wonder what adjustments we do end up having coming into this next game, because as we saw, we have to go back quite some time now, in particular for like draft order and stuff like that. But this Kato Storm, it's on the rise. It's always been kind of there, but now we're seeing it even more so than anything. And Kato just seems to fit in most lineups as well too, besides just being good for the Storm.
Dude, it is we can look back at his win rate, but I have to imagine it is approaching 70% at this point.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
I feel like it's won both times we've seen it today. But yeah, it's incredibly strong. That might be, and that's one of the first losses on Batrider we've seen in a while too, actually.
I believe, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's true. So I'm going to bring up these. I'm going to look at some win rates actually now that we have a little bit of downtime between draft. Oh, Shaker ended up losing a game. That's sad, but
unlucky.
But yeah,
those of you who don't know,
65% over 32. So.
Yeah, that's huge. That's looking very good. Yeah, we were talking and hyping up the impact of like the 4 positions going into the series, right? You have Batrider on one side, Keeper of the Light on the other. We're kind of curious, which one's going to have that late game impact, and it just seemed like it was Coddle. Managed to farm more. He went for an interesting build on Kaka's Batrider anyway, right? This like Aether Lens, Aghanim Scepter. I think he had a refresher like at one point. I don't know what happened to his money.
Okay.
Maybe, but yeah, it was very close.
He was trying to find solutions to having like extra type of control, I guess, like that. While Save was just looking to, a little bit extra control, but also he was the nullifier. He was like pretty much Nightfall 7th slot, right? To give that like nullifier so he didn't have to actually buy it, which was very cool. I was like actually wondering if Save was going to go Aghanims too. That's why I was like, oh, he's going to go the nullifier for his teammate, but they would have had like 3 or 4 different like area control spells if he wanted to, but the nullifier hex was incredible. So
did so much work at finding the kills under the Darkseer. Or at least, like, he forced his refresher before he got the wall off the first time. That was the big deal. Is like, you didn't get double wall in the fight. You didn't get double hex off. He instantly had to, like, refresh just to get the Aeon disc back or before he died. So, that's game-changing for sure in these fights.
Yeah, game-changing because it's just so much that you can do. That's why, I don't know, Coddle just seems to do so much after watching Seb playing and Save playing it a couple times now. You have potential to always get itemization of anything, because if you do get to like late games and stuff like that, these coddles always have like 1, 2, 3 items or something like that too. So, yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Seer Stone was just the icing on the cake. That was so funny. Just casting from all across the map. Very difficult to deal with. We
So
should have an
Aster-
update here shortly with the game, by the way. We are not
Okay.
just, it's not, Fog and I here just refusing to start the game. There is a little bit of a delay. So we will be back with an update on that here shortly. But what were you going to say?
So for Aster though, if they win, they're secured though, right?
I
Is it
believe
the
so.
8
Yeah,
wins?
I think they just
Okay.
need the 1 win.
Okay, so for
let me
this,
see.
it's huge, right? For them, and then they're gonna go all in. Maybe BB. I mean, like I said, I don't think they're like step off the pedal, but they're not gonna have that innate like we need to win this kind of game thing. So
Liquid could go. Actually, Secret, they only have 1 series left. They could go to 7. Yeah, I think 3 teams. If you get an 8th win at this point, I think you're secured because the only team that could pass you is Liquid, but Secret can't get to 8 wins.
yep, that's right. That's true.
So yeah, 8 wins is guaranteed upper bracket at this point. So Talent actually then is secured if that's the case because they're at 8 and 4.
It's do or die, baby. Then.
Yeah, Aster needs this win.
Well, not die, but it's do or
Yeah.
potentially die. Yeah. So we'll have to see. Looks like they are getting ready. So they're almost ready. Everybody. Looks like the Aster's just finishing up fixing the PC or something.
Mm-hmm. Dude, the difference between Group A is actually so dang close. There's 3 teams at 6-6 and 3 at 5-7 still, and that's like done for the day. So tomorrow we could have like a slurry of tiebreakers.
That would be hype.
That would be super hype. Who has not played?
And tiebreakers are BO3.
I think so. I can double check the rules on that one. I think I have those pulled up. Or the tiebreaker rules.
Sorry,
They're
I'm
not there. They're
terrible.
not listed.
I'm so awful at finding stuff like that. That's why I'm just throwing it all to you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I don't think I have them listed on
Okay.
here, unfortunately. So
I'm usually
yeah,
super
they should be
clueless on
best
that
of 3
stuff,
though. They
so-
usually are,
Okay.
unless it's like a 3-way tie, and then I think the rule on that one was a
Best of 1 round
best of
robin.
1 round robin. Yeah.
Radiant team banned.
So
Okay.
there we go. We got a game.
Sweet. Draft's underway.
All right.
What
The big
adjustments?
question. Yeah, the big question. What do they change?
Is Coddle Storm going through? And which team's
I
going to get
can't
it? Because I think either one of them might just go for it if they have second pick. I love these dynamics that end up
I'm like
happening.
pulling up the draft from last game to look at bans and everything to see. All right,
Aster's
what
turn
changed?
to ban.
I have way too many tabs open. I have like 45 tabs. I gotta start closing
Yeah.
some tabs. Jesus.
All right, they actually banned the Snapfire. They don't want to give it to GPK. Since Sumail can't take it, IO's banned.
Okay.
Team Aster.
What are they
Good go for the Undying.
They'll
They just-
first pick the Coddle.
First pick Coddle. Okay.
Oh man, it's gone up. It's moved up in priority that much. Okay. Do you take the Storm away? Is the question, because they're very likely to pick it, or do you just hard counter pick it in these first 2 picks? Or do you
No
not care at
Storm
all?
IO, no Storm Coddle. You could go Pugna, but that one's gotten heavily nerfed.
It's pretty bad right now. The mana
Yeah, it
restoration's
feels
pretty
really bad. Every time I've watched it, I'm like, you're just sitting here for 20 seconds waiting for mana.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I feel like you are better off trying to counter it than just denying the Storm pick, but
Okay.
it's going to come up to Sumail.
Yeah. Then you maybe Clockwork +1.
Preemptively pick like a really solid flex for mid that also beats Storm. Could you do something like that?
That's what
What heroes are
Or
there
do you
that
take
I mean, we
Lion +1 because you have Cock on your team and then you just get a catch? But then what if they just don't pick Storm? Then you have Lion's not a bad hero by any means.
Lion's not bad. It also denies the Naga Siren.
Yeah. That might be
I
what they're
think you
up
could
to.
do that.
They'll take it. All
Deny
right,
the Storm.
JK, they just take it. And it must have
But-
been a bunch of discussion because they went into like 40 seconds of time.
I still like the Lion idea. He can vomit mana into his allies. It's not good because
It
you have
takes
to get
time.
a lot of XP,
Yeah, it takes a
Um,
bunch of levels, but
10 seconds
but-
remaining.
huh.
that is an option. Also, denying the Lion away from them isn't a bad
5
thing either.
seconds remaining.
But will they take a Lion, right? Like you have to worry
Nah,
about
probably
that. Probably
not.
not. So I think you take something else. Yeah, you take a kill combo.
Radiant team banned.
All right, like it.
And they'll take the anti-storm. So right away, since they know that storm's going to be there, they'll pick GPK as Tiny. Even though he didn't have the most success on it the other day in particular, we have seen a lot more people going back to the Tiny to deal with these more fragile, kind of easily gankable and comboing heroes, with the pucks and the storms and stuff like that.
Remaining.
Well, this should be a very interesting kind of change up in the draft here. I think I like Tiny is one of those heroes that has kind of been feast or famine. To be honest,
Yep.
like he has really struggled in some games in terms of getting to his blink timing, and if Storm Spirit manages to like, I think it's been specifically picked into the Storm, right? Like almost every time we've seen it, I think it was into the Storm Spirit.
I can actually.
And like Storm ended up getting like a rotation and killed the Tiny or something.
Team Aster's turn to ban.
Yeah, mostly. I was trying to check which other one. We just cast too many games. I can never really remember.
Dude, yeah, it's been a lot of Dota.
I mean, they did pick the Tiny. BB picked it versus the Shaker, I think it was, right? The Shaker mid, and that didn't end up
that's
going well.
right.
That was the one that Secret kind of just
10
crushed that
seconds
game.
remaining.
Well, I say crushed. It was consistently holding it steady, and then the
5
Chrysalis
seconds
moment happened, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the classic Monkey King moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big.
Radiant
Tiny can be
team
risky.
banned.
I'm not sure how I feel about it for GPK. I think certain hit players, I think Noob is really good at looking like sacrificial on it, but even him, actually, I'm going to look up what the win rate on this Tiny is. I don't think it's super high. Hey, it's actually, never mind, 59 over 22 games. That's actually fairly high. Maybe a lot of these, I think that a lot of these were support, though, from some people, because they're playing with the Enigmas.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I do respect ban the pure Legion Commander, which I like. I mean, even though you have like the Skywrath Mage, it is one of those heroes that he has just looked incredibly strong on, and then partners really well with the Coddle lane. The overwhelming odds spam was just way too good. So, makes sense. I'm curious what they want for pure though, because there's this Doom still available at the moment. Do you keep banning out his heroes, or do you look for something else here?
Good question.
Naga Siren, Monkey King.
Interesting. Okay, they even get rid of the Naga Siren. Oh. What is the pure hero that he doesn't want to play versus Naga
10
Siren?
seconds remaining.
Probably the... Oh, actually, that's a good play.
5 seconds remaining.
It's just, he
Yeah,
likes
maybe
his
it's just a
time.
response to the Legion because they just wanted to take it on Aster. I don't know.
True.
They do have last pick on Aster here though, so they'll should get like the core matchups that they want at the end of the phase. But
Radiant team banned.
Slark ban, that is not one we see all that often.
Do they ban the Naga because they want something like perhaps a Lycan for pure?
I could see that. Yeah, good against the Skywrath Mage, right? As we've seen.
I think that might be what he's looking at, because you usually want some information hero when you're playing with like this
10
Tiny, so you can
seconds
go for the jumps and get these initiations. Maybe I'm on the wrong read, but
5 seconds remaining.
Bloodseeker's still in the pool though. They want to go for the Bloodseeker.
very true.
Um,
Let's see which one it
but
is.
then the Slark ban doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, so I don't know.
Yeah. Lock ban is interesting too.
I mean, TA, is that gotta be on their mind then?
I'm not sure. I'm drawing blanks.
Dude, these are some weird bans.
Hmm.
But we'll see. Both these teams going into the reserve time a decent chunk now.
Okay, that I mean, I feel like it's like screaming Lycan. Monkey King, Naga, and Dying bans. I feel like they have to be looking at it on BB.
You do have the ability to pick it up immediately here on Aster going into the phase 2. Which, I mean, not bad at dealing with Coddle either, right? Not a hero that...
10 seconds
No, it's another scouting tool for sure, and it gives
Yeah.
could be a good
5 seconds
a good idea. I don't know how much I've seen XXS play it. That's what I wanted. That's what I was thinking about. That doesn't feel like an XXS here. XXS is usually I am the team fighter, and that's what he'll stick with.
Okay. Gets the Tide right away.
Yeah.
The Sark ban makes sense, but I still
Okay.
don't think Sark wins the Tide lane. Like, we've seen this hero picked into Tide and lose
Mhm.
multiple times.
It's just
No.
overall game though. That can be, Slark has a lot to play around. So now maybe this Tide is also now the Lycan's not as good because we have a Tide.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm just hung up on too much on the Lycan, but
I will point out there is a hero that is basically a dead hero that is decent into the Tidehunter, but I don't know if you can pick it into Skywrath. It would be the Lifestealer. He's like one of the few heroes that actually deals with Tidehunter lanes pretty well. But I can't imagine you can afford to go for a Lifestealer.
I don't think I know it doesn't sound like Nightfall to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Have we even had a Lifestealer pick here?
I think I've seen one in the tournament.
We did get
I'd
one.
have to look back.
And they'll go for
Clockwork. Nice. That's a solid pick there.
Strong versus Tide throughout the game, especially in lane. Good versus Sky. It's an information hero too, so rockets and stuff like that to scout for the Tiny to get the combos. This is Tokyo, one of his favorites.
10 seconds
There's still... Clockwork is actually pretty good at dealing with that, and Tiny, of course, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can go for Skywrath Enigma supports. That seems a little bit greedy, but...
How hard do they want to pressure this Tide? Do they want to pick a straight lane counter? Like these... I mean, Ursa's not really a lane counter, but it's more like a Razor or something like that, I'm thinking. I don't know if Nightfall wants to play that on that route, but... Still go TB instead.
I actually like the Razor. Yeah.
But he goes TB.
Yeah.
TBB doesn't seem to always pick about just like dominating lanes or anything like that. They pick about like the overall game, as we saw last game. I mean, they sacked a bunch of lanes, ended up paying off. Almost didn't, but
10 seconds remaining.
So counters into the Terrorblade. The Drow Ranger is available if you want that route. Morphling is still in. One of the heroes that, I mean, I don't know if it's as good anymore after the Ags nerf, but it's terrible. Otherwise, you go for things like Faceless Void and stuff like that again.
They might go
Just
for the Void.
Storms. Yeah, Storm Spirit Void back the other way.
Yep, Void Skywrath as well too, and then they have Void versus Coddle. Does look like a pretty good Void option if they want to. Good call.
Radiant team back.
Faceless.
Looked like the best one, yeah.
Juicy. Too juicy.
And now they're telling. Now you're on a timer, right? Disaster getting that super late game kind of prowess with the Storm Void.
Ooh, a Phoenix band. That would have been super cool.
And China is one of the few teams that still does like to play it, right? Like
They do.
Chinese 4 positions, even the 5 positions we do see.
Yeah. I think Fly is one of the only other people that still plays it occasionally.
True.
But in terms of your support staff that's left for the 5 position, I'm imagining they're looking for their 5 position still.
What, an Aster? They have to be, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Unless you're running a Sky 5. That seems
Hell
pretty
no.
sus. Yeah.
No.
They get rid of Purist Doom. Like we talked about that earlier. Like one of these heroes that's still left in the game.
Don't you just take a page out of Aster's book? You could pick Shadow Demon here.
Turn to ban.
You could.
Yeah, versus the
Definitely pick
TB.
a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, it might like make your damage and stuff maybe perhaps.
Dang, I actually was thinking Venomancer. I thought it could be pretty sick, but
okay.
Yeah, I actually like the SD as well. I think you risk giving him like Darkseer with Clockwork, but if you're not too worried about it,
5 seconds
remaining.
You might ban the DS.
Yeah, it's just so good. No matter what, it seems to be doing real good work.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, Beastmaster. You were talking about information heroes earlier. Lycan is still available if they want it. They banned the Beastmaster instead.
Well, Lycan's not as good anymore because the Tide, right? But
yeah,
I'm trying to think what other pure heroes. They're just Axe. They just don't have follow-up for it, but that's the other pure hero that's left that looks better.
They are.
Correct.
It is interesting in terms of the matchup in a Void because I think level 1.
Yeah, I did not see. I don't think I've ever seen Pure really play that. I don't think I've ever seen Pure play it. Am I wrong?
The Shadow lane defensive because I don't know how you deal with Dragon Knight. Like you just take.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other hero. It's like play can look really good versus the TB. Say for Aster. Oh, Bat Rider too, right?
Ooh. Dang. Rider game.
Whoa. Yeah, we're getting some new stuff. Oh, this is cool. Wyvern, I actually asked for it the other day when I've been seeing so many summons and stuff like that. Kaka's going to... Yes, they will be playing the 5 Sky.
Concussive Blast, decent, I guess. Just run around spamming it in the lane.
Doesn't sound like the easiest lane.
Yeah, I don't know. It might create some space in the first level or two, but I don't know about after that.
Okay. I mean, this... Kato plus DK is actually not the weakest by any means. You have good control, and they did want extra control on the side of BB to control this, you know, the Storm and the Void, which Aster ran into maybe some issues of catch a little bit in that last game. BB wanted to have this extra catch at the DK and the Tiny to answer it.
Well, I'm excited. I think it's cool that we're getting some newer picks. I don't know if this is the first time we've seen Wyvern. We could double check. I mean, I certainly haven't seen either DK or Wyvern in the tournament so far, but
they've been picked.
It does provide a little bit of control, right, on the DK here for this Faceless Void.
Yeah.
As well as for the Storm.
I mean, they have the... Okay, so they have good damage, at least, from him, and they have good ways to prevent. I mean, the Cold Embrace is definitely going to be super valuable, but the Curse versus targets next to TB is probably the main thing he's looking at, just to start and just have that big team fight. Because overall, I would say there is quite a lot of team fight on Aster, and not the most on the side of BB.
Yeah. Just pick off potential for BB, right?
This is really interesting.
All right. We'll see how it goes as we are getting into the game. It is going to be game number 2 of BB versus Team Aster. For those of you who are just tuning in, game 1 going the way of Bed Boom at like 60 some odd minutes, like 65, almost 70 minutes. Absolutely bonkers game.
I feel like
if you missed it, you may want to go back and watch that one later.
I feel like we could have similar stuff happen in this game. This could be a pretty long game. We have a TB versus Void lineup. I mean, Aster have some very, very strong scaling.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of... DK is probably one of my favorite, like, scaling cores as well, if you manage to find farm, but it's usually only out of the safe lane. You're not going to see it off the off lane, right? Like, still, like, Manta and, like, all those things. Like, very cool, but not from the off lane.
It is pure, though. He does like to play pretty far.
Yeah, it's true. He could do it.
But yeah, we'll have to see how he ends up doing up top. I'm curious to see how this Coddle DK lanes ends up being. It's a lot of magic damage that can't come out versus DK, and he's very survivable versus more of the mostly physical usually. So they can get a lot of bashes perhaps with time dilation, but I think Pierre should be able to stand his ground up there pretty nicely and get quite a bit of denies versus Monet. Okay. I mean, lots of different forms. I mean, that's also what they want. I'm like, still just theory crafting. I think that's why they wanted this DK also, besides just extra catch for Void and Storm on like sides and stuff like that. It's just like, it's multiple forms of initiation now in the fights. Where they have like 3 different jumpers. Save
taking a decent chunk of damage. Does steal the rune away though, so that's what he wants.
3 for BB.
There's 5 tangos to head to lane, so I think he'll be okay.
3 for BB. Unfortunately, Kaka did not get the value hit of the Arctic Burn onto the DK. He was very close to getting it, but doesn't. But he'll get the D-ward.
Yeah, he saw that one come out, so easy D-ward for him. DPK going to be a little bit sad about it. We'll see how the Storm versus Tiny matchup goes in the mid lane. The idea, right, tree throw, you can just deny and CS pretty easily, but yeah, good first wave so far.
And you can ask for TPs as well, too, like really early if you just get like a toss-back opportunity or something like that. Yeah, Sumel's played this matchup probably 100 times, so.
I'm curious if Pure will put any more points in Dragon Tail to get to the 2-second stun. It's at 1.8 right now.
Oh, he just misses both last hits.
Yeah, did you just... I was like, uh-oh. I imagine he probably just goes Breathe Fire and Dragon's Blood.
Yeah, I think he's going to need the regen, honestly. It is... The Skyrat does dish out a decent amount of magic damage if there's any bashes, too, so...
What? Bottom lane, XXS, just getting ran down by Toronto Tokyo, and that's going to be first blood. Kaka now in trouble as well, as Battery Assault will chip a lot of damage into him.
That's with Reflection.
Yeah, that was Reflection. They just ran him down.
Not even with meta. I mean, that's huge. The first wave sometimes can be a little difficult for a clock. You always want to just use your battery assault and kind of run at them to secure some range creeps, but I guess they didn't trade the battery assault nicely.
They're going to do it again.
Big.
Yeah,
Level
Reflection.
2.
They're looking for Kaka now. Level 2 on Night. Gets a big kill. Toronto Tokyo able to just zone out the Tide again.
That's a huge laning start here. Across the board, too. They are slowing down the Void a little. Well, slowing him down a little bit. He's got some creeps under him, but... Very nicely set up. Nightfall. I think the fact that they did this type of lane setup rather than having the Skywrath with the Tide makes it so that Nightfall is going to have a super free farm lane.
Yeah. I like this a lot. For BB team, obviously.
Yeah.
It's very good for them. Nightfall, like, just casual magic wand early. Doesn't really have to worry too much, obviously, because of the anchor smash. He's going to get tons of stacks from these.
Yeah, and he can just get fed tangos. You know, he's got a Clockwork in his lane who just needs, like, boots and just buys tons of regen. And Toronto actually already has boots since he got the kill. That's a lot of issues down here. Like, just for XXS to stand down. And they're just not going to be able to...
battery assault is huge.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to apply any way to slow down Nightfall while... On up top, like the DK, he is going to be getting these continuous denies. Every time he gets a stun onto Monet, he can get these extra denies, so...
Toronto Tokyo is just going to chase for Kaka here. He's like, you want this Lotus, bud? Oh, he misses the cogs. Okay, never mind.
Give him a high five.
Well, yeah, you got it. He was sticking on the corner of the wave to get the last creep for level 3. Nice play from Kaka, actually, just to secure the Lotus. And that's big. That HP and mana swing is pretty nuts sometimes. We have boots now on Clockwork, so this is scary.
Super scary. First few waves, honestly, just the first 3 minutes are in a really comfortable spot here. BBT definitely super happy. I mean, this tiny... Sumail is handling it, of course, but... Pure is under 0 threat at all up top. He's getting multiple denies, multiple last hits, and he definitely is going to slow down Monet. And yeah, Nightfall, I don't see him getting slowed down. So perhaps
Tokyo is just going to run at the Tidehunter again. Just do a decent chunk of damage here. Reflection comes out, and yeah, you walk off the wave for a moment and chunk through half your HP. He does have Ring of Hell 10-stick charges, so he can easily reset, but almost no commitment from the Clockwork. Meanwhile, mid lane, nice rotation in. He tries to contest the runes. GPK and Save will find themselves a kill.
Save even, I think, passes over either a Mango or a Lotus onto him too, just to keep him healthy. And these first few waves, it's been huge. Nightfall is not going to get pressured down here from this lane setup. And Pure, I think he got over like the hardest, like the first 2 levels I think might be the hardest up there. Now he's perfectly fine versus this Void Skywrath. This is a very ideal start. BB, last game they played on back foot for the majority until they started swinging the game back around. This game doesn't look like that's going to be the case at all. It looks like they're going to be the ones, the aggressors.
Oh yeah, they're going to continue to chase XXS here on the Tide. The Kraken Shell will remove the Reflection, so he's not quite slowed, but just needs one more auto attack, and Nightfall's level 2 meta helps find the kill. So Tidehunter having an abysmal start to this game. 4-0 already at the 5-minute mark.
Oof. I've seen XXS struggle a bit on this hero before too, so off to a rough start.
Don't mind if I do.
And yeah,
GPK looking to dive Sumail. Woo.
Super close.
Runs out of free grab. And Sumail does get a decent trade back the other way still, so not bad.
Just watching Pure top just hit the Void and just deny creeps over and over again in his face. 8 denies now on this DK. 18-2 on Monet.
It is so annoying playing against DK in lane. He just stunned. Oh, nice pushback. Good silence, though, from the Skywrath.
Very close.
That would have likely been a kill.
Look at mid. Tokyo.
Ooh, nice dive. Yeah, he's not quite level 6. He tries to clean up the wave in time, but it's not going to be fast enough.
Oh, man. BBT's coming out with a statement this game. 5-0. Last game, I think we didn't have... I think we had like 2 kills at this point, maybe even less. Maybe just... I think the 1 came out at 6 minutes, maybe the first blood.
Toronto Tokyo has been so active in 4 of their kills already. He is crushing it in top lane. This is leaving Pure open to a lot of harassment damage.
He's got the salve, though. Backpacks his stat items. We'll be able to heal back up. And the wave's pushing into him, so he's going to be able to continue to free farm. Yeah. A TB with no pressure whatsoever.
That's the spirit.
Most ideal
You can
setup.
probably leave him down here now at this point. Like,
Yep.
your Tidehunter will eventually get his Meteor Hammer, but he's not ever threatened by a Wyvern either, so...
No. He's only threatened by a rotation from a Storm or from like a, you know, Twin Gate Skyrat that somewhat catches him off guard, but...
True, yeah.
He's very high level already. He's near level 6, and he's got some insane farm already. 3,500 gold on this Terrorblade.
I see the 7 minutes approach here. No real moves from Toronto Tokyo for the Wisdom Rune. I kind of thought he might, but...
I thought so too, but... Looking to just continue protecting his buddy, I guess.
Yeah. Save, securing the top one at the moment. As Kaka will stack up. Yeah, she doesn't get the Ancient Camp, but... Good for XXS. He needs this kind of recovery. He needs to be able to get to this Meteor Hammer, start trying to chip away at this tower.
He also just doesn't want to... he's sticking around bottom whenever meta's up, too. It seems to just be too scary for him versus this Clockwork as well in Toronto, and now he's level 5, so level 3 Battery Assault's online. And I'm just looking at these stacks now, too. BB save. He's got tremendous stacks being made around this triangle already, so... GPK can go farm those if he wants to. It looks like it's going to be the call. A flawless early game.
You have a really good blink timing. A lot of times we've seen Tiny struggle to get to this blink. He's got treads done. That blink will be fast.
Yep. And this is really a flawless early game here. And to blink this, well, it's not. I mean, not this early, but a blink that's going to come out even this early-ish. Whenever he does finish it up, it's problematic for some of these squishier heroes. Now, this Void,
Yes.
Storm, etc. can definitely get caught.
I mean, both supports are just food.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Playing around Power Runes, GPK.
oh, nice silence. Iron will spawn bottom to shield rune. You can grab by Toronto Tokyo, but GPK going in. Nice cold embrace. GPK will just toss away Sumail. And they can't continue the chase at all.
And Tokyo just takes away the shield rune. So. And GPK, you know, he just gets pumped back up to mana. You know, save is right there with him, so right back up to full. Aster,
Such an amazing start for them.
yeah, I mean, Aster's trying to salvage things by moving around, right, with their supports and stuff like that, but still just BB playing it smart.
I like Pure's build. Just 3-1-1, so he's going to have the ability to farm quite a bit on this Dragon Knight.
And he is
doing wonders
Midas.
for him. Yeah, he is going the Midas build.
I had a feeling he'd do it. You know, it's Pure. He wants to always continue scaling.
If there's anything, like, name them, like, what is it? The name a more iconic duo, Pure and Midas, I think you'd have a hard time.
Yeah. Good lord. This TB is, this is insane, his farm. He already has Treads Dragonlance. And the Band of Elvinskin, actually. He is...
Yeah, he's, like, working towards Yasha now, right?
He's already hitting some absurd timings pre-10 minutes. X
So
success.
Tokyo, I don't know if you've noticed, level 6 now.
Yep, they're setting up for bottom.
As he's looking for the hook shot. It's on the mark, baby. Traps him in the cogs. Kraken Shell cannot help you there as the third point in meta. That's a good use. And honestly, you can pressure this tower now. Normally, it's the Tidehunter taking your tower, but you've got a Terrorblade.
I mean, they've got a Clockwork issue. This clock's near level 7. Toronto Tokyo is smashing this early game.
Sumail has to be careful. It is so hard to commit here.
He's just here to grab the wave. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He only has to worry about the tiny, so he can actually step up and at least get the creep wave off. But significant damage onto that tower.
That fort came out so late. It
Yeah.
like. Well, they brought down 3. XSS does have Ravage. If Sumail can find the opening, maybe you get Nightfall, but they're a little bit too afraid to commit. They're just going to go for the bottom tower, it looks like.
Yeah.
They've got, again, the Meteor Hammer will help out a lot.
Do they even look to respond to this? I mean, GPK, he's going to have the Blink Dagger pretty much done. Nightfall, he's going to be 8 also, so he can hold the skill point if he wants. Yeah, they're rotating. They have Coddle Clockwork.
I like this a lot. Why not?
I mean, they're also hitting top tower with Pure in the meantime. So,
I can form up.
Yep. Super crisp early game. Yeah, these supports just massive as well, too, to be able to show up down bottom and stop a push from 3 heroes. Nightfall just comes right back. He's like, all right, I'll take the wave. And he's gonna, okay, I was gonna say, does he hold the skill point or just automatically put it in Sunder? He just auto puts it in Sunder, so.
I'm trying to think like what you're playing for on Aster right now. I mean, obviously it's just kind of stabilize, play for the late game, Faceless Void with the Midas.
I think you're just playing to recover and perhaps get some like counter gank setups, but this does feel pretty grim already at this point. You know, you're
11-minute blink.
You're gonna have to play versus relentless aggression that's gonna come out here Yeah, GPK, he's going to just kick it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They smoke on the blink. Toronto, Tokyo, like you said, almost level 7. They're going to smoke into smoke. DPK, does he go? Oh, he actually tosses the clockwork. Not ideal, but does he get the pushback? He does. The damage not there to follow. And now, the turnaround. This could be good for Aster. XXS is here. Nice Dragon Tail. He's not going to be able to connect onto the Ravage. Toronto, Tokyo will finally fall on the backside, but there it is.
Is there damage?
Comes down onto the Tiny. They need the damage. The heals, the sustain. It's from the save. Coddle is doing to work, but finally will come through from the Storm Spirit. So Aster get a big win in this top lane.
They bring everybody. They don't have to use Ravage either. They did have to use Chrono and the Curse, but they brought 5 heroes to be able to get that, and they do at least get GPK on his reveal. A little bit awkward. Both jumped at the same time. Could have been cleaner. A nice jump there, Aster. That's the one big thing that their lineup does have. It's big team fight. That's what we did talk about from the start of the draft. If they do group up. Unfortunately, their support's still very low level, so there's no Mystic Flare. They do inevitably bring down GPK, though.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, imagine like that kills like guaranteed with Mystic Flare, right? Yep. So quite different. Monet very close to his Midas now, just about 70 gold away. We'll grab it off the bottom wave here. So that's going to be very important for the Faceless Void.
Yeah, it was a good fight from Aster, but at the same time, you know, Nightfall, he just stayed bottom. He took the tower, and he still continues to just be absolutely massive. His timings are looking fantastic.
He takes top tower.
Yep. And he's got meta, so if he does want to get involved with this team, he can. He is that farm that he can.
Midas is done on Pure, so your DK will eventually scale. Oh, Toronto Tokyo just having some fun here with the Wyvern. Gets him with the Blood Grenade as well. He can't Cold Embrace. He just dies. Dude, he is crushing on this Clockwork. Sumail thinking about going in. He could go for the Vortex into the Mystic Flare, but he's going to need maybe a little bit more help. There it is. They drop it. The Clockwork will go down. All right. Nice return kill. Cost 3 heroes to come to the top, though.
Yep. Cost heavy rotations, and Pure has his Midas done. XXS is... he's still decently farmed on this Tidehunter, but he's just waltzing around. He's trying to find an opportunity to use Ravage, but doesn't want to use it in those last 2 situations.
He would love to just Meteor Hammer this mid lane, but he's so scary with like a potential Tiny toss back and Coddle just always clearing your wave.
They might look for a move. They've got their Curse back up. Kaka probably wanted to move Sumail around.
You see Kaka's item shoot up?
Dude, he's ambitious, man.
This takes me back to the Ricky Nullifier days.
I mean, this is... I mean, go big or go home. That's I think Kaka's probably saying. Especially after this early game, he's probably feeling a little bit of that pressure that comes out from BBT's early game so far. And Nightfall, he is showing up to mid. Can't look to go for this mid tower. He can continuously get chakra'd up too, so he can keep replenishing that Metamorphosis.
I kind of forgot the Coddle TV. Like, there's just so many different heroes that benefit from having Coddle in your draft, but like, BB is also a fantastic one. The reduced cooldown on Conjure Image and meta is just massive. They get a freebie bottom here with the Blink Tiny.
It's easy for them to do this type of setup on BB. They really need to just move around with the Tiny for the most part, while on the side of Aster, they need to move around with probably like 2 heroes. They need to do like the Storm Sky or the Tide Sky or the Wyvern. Like, they need to have a lot more in order to set up these ganks. BB can do it a lot cheaper, and they're playing farm. This Tower Blade's massive. Pure is also continuing to scale, doing some stacks and stuff like that with Midas, so... Aster, yeah, they've got these Midases and they want to go for like late game scaling, but BB is definitely going for late game scaling as well.
Yeah, I like that decision, right?
Yeah.
You said it very early on. Like, we're against with TB Void matchups. It's very likely we're going to be pushing into the late game. Is recognize it right away. Like, yeah, just go Midas Pure, have fun.
It wants to be that third kind of core, because we did see what BB was able to do with the Storm Void in the late games, so they just become these total monsters. I mean, BB, they have a TB Tiny DK. Perhaps it could be enough to withstand it if they're farmed enough.
Smoke from Aster. Get the ward sentry up onto the high ground. The question is, who do they find? They get some vision of Toronto Tokyo. Not the most, value kill, but you definitely take it. I guess he's pretty high level, worth a decent chunk of money.
As long as they can get the tower out of it, it's okay. But it costs Sumail all of his mana.
Alright, tower equals secured. You are correct. Yeah, Kaka needs to be very careful. He really wants this rune. Sumail's not going to get it. Catches an avalanche. GPK with a lot of damage, but nice. Winter's Curse to hold him in place. Monet has Chronosphere. They're looking for the opening. Tiny just getting ran down. Okay, some good plays from Aster here.
Nice. They bring everybody, all 5 heroes. Sumail has to use the rest of his mana, but now perhaps can turn it into a secondary tower here. Some Meteor Hammer push. Top though starts to get pressured. Kaka has to move away. All right, good move there from Aster.
It's really big for them.
Yep.
Slowing down the Tiny here, but the heroes they just can't address is this TV right now. He is free to do whatever he wants, and he is, I think, almost to his Scotty. He's halfway to his Scotty.
Halfway. I was gonna say what? That's like, I mean, he still has, you know, the one of the like gauges that people like to talk is like 10k by 20 is like you're in an okay spot. This is, yeah, he's got a really good time. He's 3 minutes ahead of that, even more so. So he'll probably be at like 14k by 20 minute mark, which is great. That's like almost 700 GPM.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Spear Vessel still being worked on for saves Coddle, so the same item build we've been seeing out of the Keeper of the Lights.
Yeah, I don't think you can deviate too much. And GPK, he has died twice, gotten slowed down a little bit, but does have his Echo Saber still finished up. Another game where it's just, they're playing a lot about like macro game, not that much overall like kill trades. It's 8-5 only at 17 minutes again.
It started kill heavy, right?
It did.
And that has changed.
Yeah, and it just became both teams kind of content with being like, all right, well, you want to farm? I'll farm.
Dire are scanning.
Where are we at on Nomre? Maelstrom done, working towards Sanj and Yasha.
Ooh, okay. I guess maybe you're a little worried about the control that comes out versus him, but not your most traditional Void item.
Yeah, not at all.
Ooh, they're actually setting up for him.
Yeah, they're smoking directly to him bottom. Got Ward on the high ground there. Did some work, but it's going to be XSX that actually just pops the smoke on backside. And
it's got a pipe.
Clockwork, very strong. He does have pipe. In comes Nightfall as well. Trapped inside the cogs. The Avalanche toss, but a nice Winter's Curse. Ends up buying him some space, and Monet is here. The Ravage on the turnaround. Sumail comes in. Excuse me. Nightfall. It's got to be... This is a huge kill if they can get him. The Vortex, does he chrono it? He's going to have to right on the edge with the save Coddle once again doing some work. And here with a really nice Dragon Tail catching Sumail Sunder onto the DK, and Sumail has to get out.
Can he?
Is he going to burn?
Taking out? It's going to be close.
Vessel.
He's okay.
Oof.
Oh my goodness. A pretty good curse to set things up. We see the Tide super tanky, but that's all the ults from Aster, and they only get the Tiny in the clock again. Nightfall, he is just too tanky. That plus save being inside with him. I think the Blinding Light messes with Monet as well too, and he's just like, oh god, I'm way too low, and then he just dies. That's all their ults, and they only get a Tiny in the clock.
That is rough. It is super rough, especially like committing the Chronos there. You feel like you have to get this Terror Blade, but
yeah.
Pure has his BKB done, doesn't even feel pressured to use it in the fight. He's almost to it, or he's like, you know, working towards the Blink Dagger. Monet has to be careful. He's gonna get Avatos right into the Pure stun, and the damage, it's almost there, but Pure Vessel is crushing him. He's gone.
Pure uses the BKB just in case, and oh, he'll find a stack with this level 2 Dragon form. Yeah, save. Amp up a Solar Bind, but either way, they even changed CC, they even messed up their CC a little bit there with the stun on top of the toss, but either way, ends up working. And it's easy for them to go for these kills on BB, as we see for Aster. They're very ulti required. BB can just find these pickoffs because this Blink Tiny.
All right, hit the 13k by 20 minutes. That's pretty dang good if you ask me. So he's happy. But speaking of the 10k by 20 minute mark, Pure hit it.
Yep.
Your offlane DK.
Midas paying off dividends. I mean, he's yet to die. He's literally just been playing the super farm game. And yeah, he's going to have the Blink now pretty much done. So they're going to have 3 different forms of easily initiating fights with the Clock, the Tiny, and the DK now at this point. And for Aster, they need XXS, it feels like, to get a Blink to have this extra follow-up right now. He needed the pipe first, as we saw there. Kept them pretty survivable, but with BBT, they're still just getting so much out of the map. A 7k lead now for them. Ooh. Interesting next pickup. I like it if Save does commit for it. It's going to come out way faster than anything like a Hex. He's going Orchid on Coddle since he's versus a Void and a Storm.
This is kind of like the mid Coddle build that we used to see, right? I mean, less like Boots of Travel, but a lot of times you would see like Vessel, Orchid bots on these mid coddles running around just like soloing heroes.
And it's very good, of course, versus Void and Storm if they have no type of dispel. XXS, they're setting up the trap.
Avalanche, toss. There's so much damage from Nightfall. There's no way he gets out.
And it's around Roche. And that's Manta Scotty at 20 minutes in. When you see that, when you get tossed as this Tidehunter and you see Scotty in time for TV, you're like, oh god, guys. Boy's big.
Someone just starts pinging it. Like, by the way, in case anyone was wondering.
They ping their Void, then they ping the TB, right? The usual kind of thing. No.
Where's my faceless Void, Scotty, huh?
Yeah, and Monet actually has to go for Manta now at this point too, because he wants this little bit of dispel that's going to be able to protect himself a little bit.
Right. First Aegis will go the way of BB team. I'm sure they just put it on Nightfall. No reason to not give it to your DB.
Yep. Even though he's a transformation hero, the game is about him.
Yeah. Okay, Kaka has actually been farming. This dude has a blink. He's still got his Aghanim Scepter queued up, which I'm a little bit unsure of still, because that is a super mana heavy item. But
he's looking at the super late game. Right?
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what Aster's trying to prepare themselves for at this point in the game, because I think they know that this early game, this mid game, it's very difficult for them. So they're just hoping for like late game, some type of late game chance, and I think that's probably what this is attempted for here from Kaka.
He's got Growth Bow to boot. He will do damage once he gets the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
He's also really hard to find once he has Aghanim Scepter. That is the other piece. Nice done on Sumail, queuing up the Lincolns. Absolutely necessary this game. They're going to smoke towards bottom.
They maybe think that meta's on cooldown, but Save is actually non-stop chakra at Nightfall. His meta's actually up.
Dude. I mean, maybe you can make a Winner's Curse play here. The problem is you don't want to Winner's Curse the TV. You want to Winner's Curse someone next to the TV, right?
Yeah, and I think now they see him pop meta, and Aster's like, wait, he has meta up, guys. They're reconsidering things.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that was expected. I think it was like 5 or 6 chakra reusages that I saw to replenish it onto the meta.
And just look at how BB's positioned perfectly. They get the tier 2. They're going to get the Tormentor. They steal the Wisdom Rune as well. They did, absolutely. So it's getting rough.
Waiting for GPK to get closer. They've got the Blast Heal coming in, so they're going to stay full HP while they do this too.
I love it.
And Save gets the recall.
Wow, what am I call immediately? That's huge.
One of the best.
Nightfall immediately goes top. He's like, yeah, you can go push, man. No worries. If you want to come back to the team, I got you.
Save's just going to follow him anyway, though. I think he just wants to keep chakraing him. He's even getting a stack. Oh, nice efficient play there from Save.
All right, that was cool. They're going to take the other Tormentor.
Okay, nice.
And he's just going to recall Tiny.
Yep.
Or no, he recalls Pure. Okay. Well, double Tormentor immediately. That's huge.
Massive. I mean, they're getting so much out of the map here. And they just continue chakraing Nightfall. Like, his cooldowns, look at this, meta was just used. It's down to 50 seconds. 50-second cooldown already.
It actually goes to Tiny, which is nuts, too. So he has the Tree Grab Shard. That's massive.
Oh, that is huge. His scaling is definitely going to continue then. So Mel finds himself a regen. But look at the net worth lead, how much it's increased in these last few moments just from double Tormentors and stuff.
Stupendous.
Sumail finds a Greater Lotus. The whole pool full bottom, so that is great for Storm Spirit if he can play around this. Let's smoke up from BB Team. Once again, meta not available, but he can just get recalled in anyway, so...
It's going to be up in seconds. Yeah, it's going to be up pretty much as the fight kicks
they
off.
Find Kaka on the Winter Wyvern. He's going to go for the Winter's Curse right away, but it's just Pure who gets trapped in that, so not enough to kill Toronto Tokyo.
Hey, they're cruising around the map. Nightfall sends Illusions top to cut the wave. They recall him to mid. His meta is back up, and he's got BKB. These timings just are flurrying out his items. Monet has a Manta, but his damage looks very insignificant at the moment. Long jump.
See if they can actually find him. Oh, the Chrono from Monet. Maybe this is it. Coddle going down first is huge. Nightfall, though, he's still a big boy.
He's way
You're going to be able to trap XXS on the Tidehunter, so no Ravage comes out. He's able to back away. Sumail will survive, at least for the moment. He's trying to TP out on the Skywrath, but the Dragon Tail comes through. So 3 dead for the Coddle. Chrono spent as well.
Nightfall, a raid boss. I mean, this was Save recalling him, and he lands inside the Chrono. They know they can't even hit him. And XXS, he doesn't even attempt to throw out the Ravage. Another fight that just goes heavily in the favor of BB.
It is hard to find the openings here on Aster.
It's hard to see when Monet is going to actually be able to do any damage in these fights, too. And this TB is just getting just way too big. 6,000 ahead of his counterpart.
Just TP top, TP cage, like, no chill, man. He just wants to run it wherever this Faceless Void is. It makes sense, right? If you slow down this Void, you just said, when does he come online?
Oh no, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. The great that BB's playing around the map, the way that they're just kind of sandwiching. Look at the way that Aster has to play. They're like, we have to deal with illusions, cutting waves. Most people trapped inside the base at this point. Monet might get caught.
He had night vision, actually, thanks to the vent thing, so he saw GPK.
Good call.
I mean, maybe you go for the Ravage play. I don't know. XXS actually gets caught in it. You gotta do something here, but if BKB comes out from GPK, and Pure is in, he stuns up Sumail, able to get away for the moment. The Aegis did just expire. The Ravage still available, but the chase continues, and XXS on this tide not having a great time. The Toronto Tokyo will trap him instead. It's gonna be the winner's curse, but the BKB doesn't really do anything. That's it. He's just dead.
And they might get
looking
more.
for Kaka as well. Pure inside the base, chain stunning these heroes up. He's gonna go for that cold embrace, but no way to escape. Dude, this tide has just felt like a liability, never getting a Ravage this game.
He's got
Aghanim Scepter on Pure. What?
Yeah. Level 18. He actually used it before the 18 hits. It's not Black Dragon, but look at him go.
He's just dead.
And Sumail
There's
gets
just
caught.
no chance. It's just got to be over. I don't know how you come back from this. The Orchid, like you pointed out,
he just
so
got it.
good.
It came literally on the courier as Sumail jumped, pretty much. This was, I mean, this wasn't even close so far, and I don't think we're gonna even get another fight perhaps for Master. That move is back. They're ending it. It's GG.
Yeah, GG comes out. Yeah, I mean, this was just a clinic.
So
they, from minute 0, absolutely crushed these lanes. It looked so damn good.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give... They did a clever kind of thing with this DK last pick where he just farmed and he slowed down the Void completely. Nightfall absolutely free farm. Toronto, Tokyo exposed XXS. That's the best word I could kind of think of right there. XXS honestly had one of the worst games I think I've ever seen from him. 0, 6, and 7. They just put all the attention to catching him over and over and over again. And yeah, this was super clean. I mean, this was not BB from what we saw in like the last few games, at least that we got to see, where they're playing back foot the whole time. This is them in the driver's seat, and they never took their foot off the pedal.
Yeah, it just absolutely flawless game. This one just feels so rough. Like from literally first pick of the draft, right? Getting Coddle and you're like, okay, we have to take Storm, right? Like that's the option. It's like you look at this and that BB team just like forced their hand completely on what they want to do. And
I think we're probably going to see this a lot. Yeah. I got to be honest with you. Like Coddle is looking like probably one of the best 4 positions, and Clockwork is looking like one of the best 5 positions. These two heroes have been catapulting for quite some time. I mean, Bali, I talked about Clockwork so much. I really thought this was going to be the absolute most picked hero. It didn't get picked as much as I thought, and it had like an 80% win rate or something. And then Coddle, Berlin, he thrived. I think now we're starting to see after some of these other heroes starting to fall away. This hero just opens up so much, and yeah, BB definitely displaying that Coddle first pick might just become the thing here.
It might, dude. It really might. This looks super strong from them. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights for the actual entirety of the day. See the actual play of the day. What we got going on here? Not a series. We got to watch 9 Pandas and PSG LGD.
This has to be the black hole. This has to be Miro. I think
is this
Miro,
what it is?
I mean, I'm going to spoil it. I'm pretty sure Miro gets like a pretty massive one.
Oh, baby. Yeah, that is nice. Dude, even the Dawnbreaker, like, counter to try and stop it is just not enough.
That's actually cool. They did the Dawnbreaker to attempt to counter the Enigma.
Yeah.
It's an old school strategy to counter pre-BKB Enigma, so that's actually neat there from PSG LGD. And we haven't seen any Dawn, so that's always cool.
Dawn just didn't have the Ags at that point. I think that's where you have to play for, right, if you're going for that.
He's playing 5 positions, so...
Yeah, it's like 5 DB. When are you going to get the Ags, you know?
Yeah.
This was such a fun fight. I mean, this game in general, this series in general from Quest OG was super hype.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, shout out to Noob here on the DP, just absolutely running train.
Super good last pick. I mean, that one seemed to be like the end-all be-all for them. I don't think he died, right? I think he played like a perfect game.
he didn't die. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of this where like a couple like one team gets ahead and then your cores just never die. We've seen a lot of deathless cores today.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of... I feel like supports are... I don't want to say getting better and better at being sacrificial lambs or anything like that, but... does he actually save him? Oh, yeah, that was pretty sick.
Pure Pudge, baby. I love it. Dude, he is so farmed in this game. What the heck? Look at that.
It's a really good pick. We've seen now a couple times people do that, bust out that offlane Pudge versus the Naga Siren, right? So
Yeah,
that's just sick. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
I'm glad we get to. I mean, look at the drafts from these two. Like, there's so much variety. I feel like we're getting in this tournament. I think I can actually look to see how many unpicked heroes we currently have. Some of them have been banned, but I think we have
15?
what 15 or 14 unpicked heroes. So yeah, pretty cool.
Oh no, unpicked, unbanned is 15. I think unpicked is in the 20s still.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I'm looking
Yeah.
right now. It says only 14 to me, but maybe I'm.
Wait, really? Oh, okay. Well, never
I
mind.
see
We got some new
Abaddon,
picks today.
Abaddon, Arc, Centaur, Dazzle, Grim, NS, Omni, PA, Sanking, Shadow Shaman, Slardar, Sniper, Weaver, Zeus.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
That's 19, right? Wait, I can't count. That's 14. I can't count today.
I don't know. It's a number. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun day. It's unfortunately for Aster, they needed the win here to secure themselves upper bracket.
did.
We talked about that going into this. So BB team denying that right now from Aster. They have some opportunities, I believe, tomorrow. As they'll be going up against Shopify Rebellion, which is a must-win series for Shopify, because if they don't, they could be in that 7th, 8th slot. We'll have to see. A lot going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Aster's fate no longer really decided by themselves a little bit. I mean, slightly, right? So that could be really, really cool. So this is going to be a very, very interesting day we go into tomorrow.
Yeah, congratulations to BB team, which have looked incredible. They have the most wins of any team right now currently in the tournament, sitting at 10-2. So absolute bonkers. So congratulations to them. But we are going to call it a night. As has been another fantastic day here at the Riyadh Masters group stage. We want to thank you all so much for coming, hanging out with us to watch some amazing Dota 2. But as all good things, they must come to an end. So we will see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a wonderful night.
Dragging us down, face on the ground, but still we so proud. Just look at the crowd, making some noise, making some sound.